Alright. Alright. Looks like we're live. I think I did all the relevant announcements today. Hey, how's it going, King? Alright. Getting things up and running. Sure, and then all good. All good and up. Oh wait, got to turn that dehumidifier off. Be right back. I'll turn that off right now. All right. Hope everyone's ready for some more Makinas, Makas, Makinas, lollies, etc. Whatever you call Makina. Be a free time. Because tonight I have more of Makina around in the Fruit of Grisaia. Just as we were returning home from the Masters. 10 out of 10 best summary of the events that may or may not have transpired last week. Oh. So we're starting with a very quiet live stream. For the norm. I always expect YouTube notifications. It works sometimes, it doesn't work other times. Kind of thing. Unfortunately. But you know, that happens. Now officially 7 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, this animefanrk2k here with the Monday Night Livestream. And of what you may ask, no, you probably won't, because I've been live streaming the same game more or less for I think 9 months now. And that is the Fruit of Grisaia. For those of you in America, happy Labor Day. For those of you who are not, Labor Day is just a random Monday that a lot of people take off for. It's the first Monday of September, and despite the fact we call it Labor Day, it's actually a day usually reserved not work. Also, basically, our final hurrah where we go, oh my god, summer's over. Even though summer doesn't end until the fall solstice. Anyway, last week we went and did a great visit of our of Yuji's master, and we just got back home from that. So, without further ado, the next day, just as scheduled, Makina and I returned to Mihama Academy dorm a little before noon. Although the total length of our trip was barely more than a day, Makina seems to have qualified as a genuine adventure. From the moment she woke up this morning, the girl was even more hyper than usual. She insisted that just heading back wouldn't be no fun, so after I deposited her in the tandem seat, we ate a quick breakfast of dried fish in a diner open early for the local fishermen, then drove around on a lightning tour of the major local sightseeing points. Hey, yeah, you know, you have to take a little, adventure every once in a while. We eventually winded our way leisurely back while taking frequent breaks. I don't know why she's ashamed that they're back, but here they are. I don't understand what you're supposed to be ashamed about. See? It's not like we went to Guam or something, you know?
Kazami-san, Maki-chan, okaeri-nasai.
Sachio's worried. Yeah, we're home.
どうでしたか? お墓参りの方は。
楽しかったのよさ。帰りに立ち寄った八方図さんから見た雄大な景色はまさに絶景だったのよ。
The view was a very picturesque city. That's in Saipan. We climbed Mount Fuji, and we only made it as far as the 5th station.
お土産はマカダミアナッツのチョコ。みんなで食べるといいのよさ。
Souvenirs are important. Now it's Hawaii. Incidentally, the thing you're waving around with a giant grin on your face are rice cakes with black honey.
結局どちらまで行かれたのでしょう。南国？よ
ーし、南国マンに変身だ。変身！
Don't start morphing into abstract geopolitical constructs.
そう、帰ってきたのね。
ああ、ユミちゃん。恥ずかしながら帰ってまいりました。
そのネタはさっき聞いたわ。
ソロポンよ。
そういうネタはもういいから。
Bombarded by Makina's raw energy, elevated beyond baseline levels into something perilously close to a frenzy, Sakaki sighs heavily, her expression vaguely gloomy. Of course. I can practically see the words, the return of the troublemaker rising up her throat, only to be forced back down through an effort of will.
昨日は平和な一日だったわね。
She's like, oh, so nice, read all these books. Some people bothered me about the whereabouts of Makina. They told them I don't know where. Oh, it's good times.
遠くを見つめるようにしみじみとそういうこと言うなよ。
うるさいわね。頭痛いんだから大きな声出さないでよ。
You should probably partied hard.
お？チルチル二日酔い？
Hopefully not.
違うわよ。なんでか知らないけど頭がズキズキするのよね。昨日の夜の記憶もなんだか曖昧だし。
Oh yeah, that's right, cause Sachi knocked her out.
勉強のしすぎではありませんか？頭は大切にしてくださいね。大事に使えば一生使えますから。
Yeah, right. Here's the offender herself.
何か？
No, just wondering where to begin jabbing at that. I mean, the idea of Michiru studying is enough to make you die laughing. And if your head ever stops functioning, your life's over. So the second part of the sentence is a meaningless truism. But first and foremost, you're the one who judged that deranged blonde to be a threat and subdued her through blunt force.
風見さんがどうしても突っ込みたいのであれば潔く突っ込まれますが、できれば突っ込まないでください。
It's like just keeping it a secret, right? I see. Times it's hard being a man.
何の話よ。
突っ込みたがる男と突っ込まれるのを嫌がる女。ままならねえもんだな。
よくわかんないけど、とにかく静かにしなさいよ。つかあんた、なんか妙にテンション高くない？
Well, it seems I put the girl to bed too early last night. She woke up at 4:30 in the morning today. Didn't seem like she was going back to bed anytime soon, so I ended up leaving a little earlier than planned. We improvised a half-assed little sightseeing tour on the way back.
あんまり寝てないから無駄にはい。
それに追加して旅行のバカンス気分の余韻がまだ抜けていないようね。
Yo, morning, Uni. Welcome.
楽しかったということだけは覚えていて、何を見てきたのかはまるで覚えていない。遠足から帰った小学生ってきっとこんな感じなのね。
Very true.
失敬だなお前。ちゃんと山にも行って湖にも行ってきたっつうの。
There you go.
じゃあ何山に登って何湖を見てきたか覚えている？
Oh, snap. Calling out.
アッポさんとおまか
Once again, Makina's slippers squeak with unnaturally convenient timing.
今なんて言った？
Be true, please don't have it repeated.
聞き返すその勇気、敬服します、みちる様。
Close, but no, they're both the tallest mountains in your countries. That one's in the Philippines. Also, I don't remember taking you all the way to South America, by the way. That lake really exists, so there's no need for the slippers to leak.
全然惜しくないじゃないのよ。
というか、イリスさんあなたわざと言い間違えていない？
そぎゃんこつは仲よ。
What?
熊本？
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a bit of a rebound?
何それ？
Even Makina wouldn't run around shrieking on a visit to a grave. Maybe this is just a recoil from all the time she spent actually behaving herself. Then again, I did see a new side of her, so maybe the whole hyper act is an attempt at hiding her embarrassment.
そういうことを言うのよくないよ。キャラがブレるじゃんかさ。
Character wrecked. In any case, I'm glad we got back in one piece.
なんだかお疲れのご様子ですね。
It was a long babysitting kids, man. What? Yeah, I won't deny I'm a little worn out. Amina's Bobotaro is fine for tooling around the neighborhood, but it's just not that suited for long distance travel. Couldn't quite stomach taking that thing onto the expressway. We came all the way back on the local roads. That probably contributed to the fatigue as well.
お風呂にでも入られて少しお休みになられてはどうでしょう。
Oh man, that is so true though. Like, I know for a fact that I take this, I take like frequent trips to Binghamton, New York, upstate from where I am, in New York City, and yeah, if I took like only the local routes and avoided the expressways and stuff, it would probably take me like 6 hours, so it would be double the trip time one way. That would be quite the trip.
いいね。私もお風呂入って寝る。
Hold on, don't you have your part-time job this afternoon?
2時からなのよさ。だからさっち1時に起こして。
God damn it.
わかった。1時だね。
To be honest, I wasn't able to get much rest at all last night. I've had a surprising string of days recently where I've managed to get a solid 8 hours of sleep, so I'd almost started to forget. But I've never been a deep sleeper, and typically jerk awake several times a night. Yesterday was a particularly awful example. It's not like I'm physically exhausted, but I can definitely feel something like mental weariness weighing down on me. So after reporting our safe return to Amina and JB, I apply my eye drops and lie down. Practically the moment my eyes close, some tense cord inside me snaps at last. I tumble down into unconsciousness. Yeah, I can relate to that too, but in a different way. I'm the kind of person who basically goes on... Actually, I guess I'll be similar to Makina in that regard, because I'm the type who would, who basically goes until my, my fuel tank reaches empty, and then I collapse, and then I actually, quote-unquote, rest. So, I'm like one of those types of people. And I'm very highly reliant on things such as eating and whatnot to keep that energy level throughout my day, which is also why I sleep so little in like IRL, because a lot of the time I just eat instead of sleeping, because I can. Used to be like that, but now you're asleep all the time eating. Well, that's okay. People, people's sleeping habits and stuff change with age. I think it's kind of might be strange that mine hasn't. Or maybe, maybe I'm going to the point where I'm just not going to sleep ever. But, that'd be weird. Anyway, when I heard about the bombing, the sky outside had already grown pink, and the cries of cicadas were beginning to cool down the scorched earth. A few hours of deep and dreamless sleep behind me, walk out into the lobby, trying to shake off the slight lingering heaviness in the core of my head. Counter Sakaki there, glued to the television, received the unexpected news that a bombing has taken place in the vicinity of the Mishima Cape. What? A bombing? Mishima Cape Station. According to the news program she's watching, an automobile parked by the road in the shopping district abruptly exploded around 6 this evening. That's not what I need to know right now. And is Makina alright?
現場のすぐ近くにいたみたいだけれど、無事だったみたい。でも
Your message 1 minute sleep with Akina. Fair enough. However,
少し様子がおかしかったわ。多分あまり見たくないものを見てしまって少しショックを受けたようね。
So yeah, I wonder if this is a bad thing. Shade says that once a bad thing starts, we're en route. We're deeply invested in this route. I see him. Where is she now?
小峰さんが付き添ってスオーさんの部屋で横になっているわ。今はそっとしておいてあげて。
All right. The word bombing means it wasn't an explosion caused by someone carelessly overturning a fuel tanker or some other accident of that sort. Looks like the vehicle that exploded was a standard-sized passenger automobile. But from the low-resolution images on the television news program, it's not possible to identify the model or brand. However, Sakaki's clicking away at her notebook PC as we're watching the show, eventually finds a better quality photograph taken at the scene on the internet. Through that, we're able to establish it was a German luxury car. The vehicle had completely flipped over from the force of the explosives, but as a rule, German automobiles are built sturdy. The body itself may be damaged beyond the point of repair, but the cabinet wasn't crushed or deformed. At a glance, I'm willing to bet they used Semtex. An explosion clearly occurred underneath the car. Hey, how's it going, Casserole? This is not the bad ending. We haven't gotten to the good ending, bad ending choice. This is part of the normal Makina route. When you go onto each character's route, there's always one final choice, and I haven't gotten to Makina's yet. Like, it could be very, like, blurry or pixelated on purpose, Uni, like, when they air it on television. Lots of times, like, people are quote-unquote sensitive about things like that, so it could have just been, like a very vague picture as well. Like purposely pixelated and such, so, no, it could very well be he didn't know what it was because of low resolution. Like, because different countries do censorship and news reporting differently. I know Japan does not like releasing everything without kind of like having an answer to give to the people. So they'll purposely like hide things like obvious evidence and such. Yeah, like, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, because, like, a German car is clearly very different from a Japanese vehicle. It's very true. But no, I think it's under the assumption that the Japanese news outlets either purposely withheld, like, any detailed images to protect the people that may have been involved and such, or because Makina may be involved, because this happened close by to where she was, it might be a political thing, in which case they purposely made it so that the information wouldn't be as easily garnered just from watching the TV. Because we all know Makina has some political affiliations thanks to her family. Let's see. At a glance, I'm willing to bet they used Semtex, and the explosion clearly occurred underneath the car. Since the interior of the car itself wasn't blown apart, it seems likely that they used a shaped charge to deliberately set to flip the entire thing over. That would seem to suggest they didn't know ahead of time which seat their target would be using. Given such extensive damage to the entire vehicle, even if the cabin remained intact, there's no guarantee anyone would get out of the ensuing fire alive.
この事件はイリスさんに関係があるという話はしたわね。
See? And now here's Yumiko trying to deduce as well. Yeah.
それは単純にイリスさんが偶然事件に遭遇したという話ではなくて、イリスさん本人、あるいは彼女の実家であるイリス家に大きく関与しているということなのよ。
Yep. And then Yumiko just confirmed my suspicions that the purposeful censoring of the explosion was most likely due to the political connection. King, I think you're underestimating the population of Japan. They have a very huge population as well. Quite a few. If you look up the numbers, it's not. They have a lot of people in that small island. But Japan, however, is a collectivist society, and because of that, rumors and such spread. So even if, even if you don't have all the information, gossip is most likely to spread a lot quicker and faster. What do you mean?
爆破された車はイリスさんの家の車なのよ。乗車していたのは運転席に専属の運転手が1人、そして後部座席にはイリス家の人間が乗っていた。
Oh, it was like one of our relatives who actually still secretly support Makina, kind of like watching. Who was it?
イリス・サリナ、イリス・マキナの妹よ。
Oh shoot, they killed her little sister? What? Her younger sister. Makina's sister was... But why was she even...
ほら、三島崎の駅の南側に今新しいファッションビルが建設中でしょ。
Uh-oh. Yeah, that one was supposed to be open for summer vacation. Ended up getting delayed. I remember Amina mentioning something about this. From what she told me, the place was going to be something like a mall focusing on high fashion. Numerous brands had signed on as tenants, along with restaurants and a movie theater. In particular, there were some foreign boutiques that would be launching their first stores in Japan there, so its upcoming opening was apparently generating some real buzz.
その工事の遅れ自体にもいろいろな裏があるようなのだけれど、今は関係ないと考えては問題ないわ。
Yeah, hopefully just two. Well, and actually, to be fair, I mean, I might have been hasty in saying she's dead, but I'm hoping she's not. So show 4, but
イリスさんの妹さんはオープン前のとあるブランドショップに買い物に来ていて、その帰りに事件に遭遇したらしいわ。
okay. Anyway. Yumiko, there was a lot going on behind the scenes that delayed, but I think it's soon enough through the incident. Your son and sister came here to shop at a certain boutique before its official opening, just apparently returning from that visit when the bombing occurred. Okay. So, how can we make an impactful death without killing your main character, sister? Well, we actually don't know much about Makina's younger sister, other than she was chosen to become head of the Irisu family, so I don't know what the political motivations are in attacking her and trying to kill her. If not, I'm not, until they confirm that she's dead or alive. Like I guess we can't really say. Schrodinger's hit. Both dead and alive at the same time. Both accomplished or not, I'm not sure. We'll find out, I guess. Why do you know so much about this?
知っている人間は何でも知っているものよ。あなた、蛇の道は蛇って知っている？
Oh. Well, I know what the phrase means.
そうじゃなくて、そういう名前の簡易性の情報サイトがあるのよ。今私が話した情報も、さっきの事件現場の詳細な画像も、そこからダウンロードしたものよ。
Oh shoot, you got some like dark web stuff? I see. JB's registered on a similar site, actually. It's impossible to join without the recommendation of an existing member. A new account is in the tens of millions of yen. And even the monthly fee is in the millions. I remember her complaining about the ridiculous charges. For some reason, the stream of new applicants never seemed to dry up. Come to think of it, it's a little disturbing that this girl already has a membership to a site like that at her age.
それなりに信頼のおけるサイトとはいえ、得られる情報には限度があるし、私のポケットマネーで得られる情報なんてたかが知れているけれど、その他の案件と照らし合わせて考えれば、イリスさんの実家で何かがあったと見るべきでしょうね。
Yeah, obviously. What's that something supposed to be?
それが分かっているようなら、私だってこんな回りくどい言い方はしないわよ。
And you know what's really cool? Because like all these other routes show off like the charm points of Yumiko. Because Yumiko really and honest, even though she acts really cold to everyone, she actually really cares a lot about everybody here at this school. A lot more than she lets on. Because clearly, you know, Yumiko wouldn't be on a dangerous website researching about Makina if it wasn't, you know, it might be like curiosity and stuff, but at some point Yumiko probably went, I'm really worried about these things that are happening to some of my friends here. And so even though, you know, she pretends she's disinterested, you know, she's always like kind of wanted to hang out with them and stuff, and they've shown scenes like that before. And so it's actually very interesting to see that Yumiko's very proactive, especially in times of crises like these, about like being there for her friends and seeing what can be done, and also deferring to somebody who's most likely to have a better connection to get it done. Because I don't think Yumiko fully trusts Yuji yet. I'm a bit quieter. Let me take a quick look at sound. Give me a second. I think I'm at my normal volume. I might personally be a little bit quieter, but let me check my sound settings to make sure my things didn't go crazy. That's normal. Recording. Oh. Hello. It's me. I'm back to my normal volume, so I'm sorry if I blew out your ears. Snap. No, you're right actually. My microphone sound volume went haywire at some point. I'm trying to think what. Oh, I get it. Okay. So I actually got a webcam because I play D&D with my friends online, and I was like playing around with the webcam and my microphone settings when I plugged it in, so that's probably what messed it up. So I apologize, guys. I was quiet for the first half hour. I'm back, full volume. Whether you want me to be or not, I guess. Thanks for pointing out, Uni. Anyway. Yeah, Yumiko knows way too much. What? She knows more. A louder anime is a better anime? Thank you. Hold on, Sakaki, you know about Makina's kidnapping? But I hadn't heard it was connected to a nuclear power plant. Makina's father was an accountant at the Ministry of Defense, wasn't he? How does that tie together? A superior at my part-time job. Oh man, it's time for the connected people to have a conversation for once. truthfully of the matter, because Makina actually might be in danger. Oh snap. That'd be appreciated. Also, I'm nothing but a part-timer. Try to keep that in mind.
そうね。今問題にするべきはイリスさんが何を見てどう関与したか、そこに尽きるでしょうね。
Oh snap. Here it comes. The partnership. There's a sickening swell of uneasiness rising in my chest. The hell is this? What's going on?
マキちゃん、やっと眠ってくれました。
Well, we can't continue this conversation right now. Is it alright to leave her alone?
はい、今は静かに眠っていますし、みちる様が付き添っていますから大丈夫です。
Yumiko's snooping as usual. Well, you know, Yumiko is not unconnected to government affairs that, you know, through her family either, from what I've glossed over so far. So her knowing a bit more than she lets on as well makes a lot of sense. But I think it's cool that we're getting to a point where the two people who like, yeah, we got our shady but reliable source of information. We could put that information together. The fact that this is coming out, this is gonna happen about, of all people, Makina, is kind of very interesting as well. Like, this Makina route has gone all over the place. All over.
一体何があったというの？彼女から何か聞けた？
はい、詳しい話を聞くことができました。私はマキちゃんのことまだ何も知らなかったんだってそう思い知らされました。
Oh, Sachi. Why was Makina on the scene of the bombing in the first place?
現場にいたというわけではなくて、近所の喫茶店とホテルにパンの配達に行っている途中だったようです。
Oh man, her boss will be like, yo, is she okay? Oh, flashback. Makina was cheerfully humming her way down the street in front of the station, bags of fresh bread carefully cradled in her arms, when she noticed a shrill, irritable-sounding voice a little ways ahead of her. When she casually glanced up to find its source, Makina discovered that the voice belonged to a girl about her own age. She was walking down the sidewalk in the opposite direction, a man in a black suit following closely behind like an escort. Makina recognized that girl at once. It was her little sister. The psychological trauma of Makina's kidnapping had left her unable to handle even the demands of everyday life. This girl had taken her place as the future leader of their clan. But Makina thought of her as a sister. The fathers were different. She was the product of a lengthy tryst between Makina's mother and a man from the branch family. Unlike Makina, who took after her father with a round, chubby face, her sister's features had always been more refined, strongly resembling their mother. As a child, Makina had been envious of her appearance. Today, the shapely face was contorted in irritation, an expression that spoke of stress and deep-rooted frustration.
私が来ることは事前に知らせてあったし、希望する商品も伝えてあったでしょうに。どうしてちゃんとサイズを揃えておかないの？商売をする気がないのかしら。それとも私をバカにしているの？
申し訳ございません。事前通達に不備がございました。後日屋敷の方へ届けさせますので、どうかご容赦をいただきたく。
Oh, so it's like just a chance encounter these two had? As the voices drew closer, Makina reflexively hid herself in the shadows. It was an old habit. Makina hadn't taken ill. Her sister never would have been in place in her current position. She'd probably be living normally in the branch family even now. First glance, his pampered, ultra-privileged lifestyle might seem preferable to that. However, Makina had learned from Kazuma Yuji that a life totally free of inconvenience only hinders your growth as an individual. And today, she couldn't see the girl in front of her as anything but an unfortunate, robbed of dreams, hopes, and freedom in exchange for empty luxury. She felt a twinge of something very much like pity. Makina had been the same way once. It was only after her arrival at Mihama that she came to understand the virtues of a normal existence. Biting her lower lip, she whispered a sympathetic apology inside her mind. Sorry, Sachi. Aww. Oh, this Makina may know a little bit more than she lets on too. Her regrets, her real regrets right here. Makina first learned she had a little sister when she was 5 years old. As the eldest daughter of the family's head, she'd been raised as an only child, When she learned that her mother had born a second child to the Branch family's second son only a year after her own birth, she was genuinely happy. At the time, Makina didn't really understand the implications of her mother giving birth to the child of a man other than her husband, and the reasons why that child couldn't enter the main family or even meet her older sister were equally mystifying. In the first place, Makina wouldn't even have learned of her sister's existence, not for a butler's careless slip of the tongue. Once she did know, Makina developed a burning curiosity toward the girl she never met. Every once in a while, she would pay her sister stealthy visits, observing her life from afar. Every time she spied on that little girl, living a normal life as a member of the Branch family, the knowledge that she had a sibling grew more real to her. Many times, Makina would come to the verge of calling out to her, only to hold back at the last moment. Looking at her sister clinging affectionately to her stepmother's waist, innocently begging her mommy for some treat, Makina knew the sudden arrival of a big sister could very well shatter the girl's peaceful family. She could never bring herself to take that risk. Makina didn't stop taking the time to go see her sister. Eventually, she invented a nickname for the girl she'd never spoken to, developing a one-sided make-believe relationship. Even the day she was kidnapped, just before going to her language class at cram school, she'd been secretly watching her little sister from inside her chauffeured car. And that was the last time Makina had seen her sister. Only hours later, she was kidnapped. Her father was killed before her eyes. She was consigned to a life in the hospital that would last many years. Makina knew the girl was her little sister, but the girl didn't know her. There was no real reason she had to hide. After a moment's hesitation, she emerged from her hiding place, resettling the bread in her arms, and just as she'd done in the old days when, in a slightly playful mood, she carefully forced a nonchalant expression onto her face and began to walk toward her sister. The man in the business suit behind the girl was burdened with countless bags emblazoned with the names of expensive clothing stores, no doubt the result of an almost rudely indiscriminate shopping spree on Serena's part. The trip was probably less about buying clothes than was venting built-up stress from the heavy responsibilities and expectations placed on the family's future leader. Makina remembered doing something very similar to herself, even as a child. Been a while, huh? As they walked past each other on the sidewalk, Makina offered her sister a silent greeting inside her mind. They had passed each other by like this numerous times before, although only Makina knew it. Every time it felt as though the words, "I'm your big sister," would slip out of her mouth. But they could never make it past the tip of her tongue. Today was no different. Just wasn't a possibility. Her sister's current position was founded on her absence. For another thing, Serena had almost certainly been told she was dead. Even if it was permitted, Makina wouldn't know how to begin speaking to her, let alone what they could talk about. Makina glanced over her shoulder, catching a glimpse of her sister being helped into a sleek black car stopped by the side of the road. It was reassuring to see her sister was being taken care of. The thought reminded Makina that she herself no longer had a place in the house she was born into. She couldn't help feeling a slight prick of sadness. But today, she had a hard-won family of her own. The students at Mihama. They'd given her things her real family never could. Feeling her heart grow lighter, Makina clutched the warm bread against her chest and drew a deep breath, drinking up the comforting scent of wheat. A small smile spread across her face. Once its delivery was over, the day's work would be done. She wanted to run home and see everyone, to give Amane a call in Tokyo. Buoyed by those thoughts, she took a step forward, and in that instant, Makina felt a flash of heat against the back of her body, almost like a burst of powerful sunlight. She couldn't even flinch. A thunderous roar rattled her eardrum so harshly it caused her physical pain. A fraction of a second later, fine particles of something like sand swept violently past her, flying down the asphalt like waves. And as the burning wind crawled over her, she saw the light, downy hair on her forearm smoldering. With a strangled half-scream, Makina squeezed her eyes shut just before the massive wave of heat knocked her down onto the sidewalk. For a moment, she couldn't process what had just happened. Oh man, this sucks. Guys, this sucks! This sucks! Crumbled on the hard concrete, listening to the grit gliding across the asphalt, the answer came to her slowly and haltingly, as if filtered through a translation of a clumsy interpreter. An explosion? It took a full 2 seconds for those words to float to the surface of Makina's mind. She picked herself onto her knees, disbelieving, telling herself it couldn't be. But when she turned around, she came face to face with harsh, undeniable reality. Her dumbfounded gaze found the luxury black sedan her sister had stepped into moments before, lying upside down, all but consumed in bright red flames. Huh? No. This can't be real. This time her mind couldn't catch up at all. She didn't want it to. She didn't want to accept the reality before her eyes. Just a moment ago, she'd seen her sister from the side, a slightly irritated expression on her face, so close she could have reached out and touched her. Many thoughts were circling frantically around inside her head. As her mind tried desperately to make something like sense out of the situation, it was all fragments, nonsense noise. There were no answers she could accept. Somebody was yelling into her ear. To understand that it was the voice of someone who was worried about her, still sitting there glued to the ground, she couldn't muster her focus to decipher their words, much less respond to them. Makina didn't move an inch from that spot. To that last, the voice said, "We need to get out of here," and firm hands pulled her to her feet.
マキちゃんを寮まで連れ帰ってくれたのは八百屋のご主人でした。最初は病院に連れて行こうとしたらしいのですが、マキちゃんが病院はどうしても嫌だっていうものだからここに連れてきたそうです。
She's not physically injured, right?
はい、右腕に赤くなる程度の軽い火傷を負っていますが、冷やせばきれいに治ります。ですが
Psychological damage is going to be more severe.
そのようです。
こんな時、私のような女はただただ無力を痛感するわ。
Sakaki's words express my current feelings to the letter. Don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to talk to her. I don't even know what sort of expression I should have on my face when I go to see her. Approach this the wrong way and might well end up making things even worse. Thoughts like these rob us of the ability to even try. But I suppose there's one thing only I can do, small as it may be. You're on top of things as always. Where'd you hear about that? Wow. Well, Jamie's like a higher up on that same website. Yeah, I am. It's a membership-based information exchange where your sort of people gather, right? Jamie's like, how the hell do you know that? Something wrong? Anyway, how much information did you manage to gather over there? Everyone's like kind of at, you know, when serious moments happen, I think everyone's just kind of like on the edge of their seats. They're like, uh-oh. Just taking it in. Yeah, we'll joke about it afterwards, but at the moment, I think is like the biggest time where everyone's like,
どれくらいと言っても新聞やニュースと大して変わらないわ。市ヶ谷としてもまだ警戒とも言えない様子見のレベルだしね。
Yet? Does that mean there's a possibility of initiating active observation in the future?
それはあなたの知る必要のないことです。
Julia.
そんな声を出してもダメ。
Can I come to your place tonight?
ダメ。
Just wanted to have some of your home cooking for the first time in a while. Still no good?
そんなこと言ったってダメなものはダメなんだからね。
Trying to bribe her. When you refuse me that stubbornly, it's as good as admitting there's a high chance the problem's going to get worse. Does it have anything to do with you not picking up your phone lately? Uh-oh. The news shows seem to be pushing a theory that this was an act of terrorism motivated by the construction of a nuclear power plant. What's the real story?
答えられないわ。
I see. Sorry I'm not looking to harass you here, but can you answer 2 more questions? Whatever information you can give me is
言っ
fine.
てみなさい。聞くだけは聞いてあげる。
How's Makina's younger sister doing?
ニュースで流れている通りよ。命は取り留めたものの予断を許さない状況が続いているわ。
Will she make it?
なんとも言えないわね。皮膚や臓器の移植が必要なレベルだとの情報が入っているし、近いうちに海外に移送して提供者を待つという噂もあるわね。
Huh, suspiciously similar story to the one about Makina, huh? I see.
質問はそれだけ？
No, there's one other on an unrelated topic. This is the one thing I really want to know. Yes, because terrorism implies that you know, there's some sort of like terror group that wants to instill fear for their own agenda and beliefs. Whereas the nuclear power plant goes, it sounds like a government-related conspiracy. So, is it terrorism or is it government-related? The real answer is probably government-related in this instance because you're manipulating the news outlets.
でしょうね。いいわ。言ってみなさい。
If Makina's sister ends up losing her current position due to her injuries, is there a possibility Makina would be expected to resume that role?
その回答は拒否するわ。
Oh. Let me rephrase it then. Is there a possibility Makina is going to be in danger going forward?
あなた、どこまで嗅ぎつけているの？
Essentially nothing. My nose is just twitching, that's all. It's basically a leading question.
そうね。このままあなたに憶測だけでおかしな行動を取られても迷惑だし、正直なところを話しておくけど、イリス・マキナに危険が及ぶ可能性は決して低くはないわね。私の見立てでは 70% の確率で何らかの接触があるでしょうね。
Ironically enough, though, this doesn't happen in the other storylines because that makes sense. I wonder if the subtle differences between each story route. Okay, but maybe this is me just overthinking it, okay? But the idea of like the world lines and with the potential parallel worlds and such, and like how like your subtle changes can have big impacts in the long run, but you could still be on the same world line. Thank you, Steins Gate. I wonder if that's what it is. So in this one, Makina witnesses a accident involving a car bombing because she applied for a job at a bakery much differently than when she did in the Amane route, etc., where Makina kind of gained her own independence through her own action to give Amane the space and time to get along with Yuji better. Whereas this one, she kind of got more pampered into it, and like those subtle differences, like, cause affected maybe like I don't know. It's very interesting, but at the same time, it's like, man, why is all this like character specific focus happening when you're on their story routes, right? That's what I'm saying.
だけど、その件に関しては近いうちにあなたに声がかかる可能性が高いわ。だから今は余計なことをしないでちょうだい。通常通り命令に備えて待機していなさい。
In other words, no independent use of force outside the range of self-defense.
その通り。犬は犬らしく、主人が紐を引くまで小屋でおとなしくしていなさい。怪しい人が来たらふてくされてないでちゃんと吠えるのよ。
Oh, everything happens in the anime? Well, I have to watch the anime, but I'm not gonna watch until I finish this game. Can I really trust you on this?
飼い主を疑うな。それがいい犬の第一条件よ。あの朝子でさえ命令無視なんて数えるほどしかしなかったんだから。
Oh, alright. Try counting them.
1回、2回、3回、4、5、6、7。
The anime is actually on Crunchyroll. Actually, I'm not sure if it's on Crunchyroll. It might be on Crunchyroll? Someone else check it. I know it's on Hulu, though. I was browsing through Hulu's anime section because apparently as a Sprint customer, I get the regular Hulu for free. Can't just tell me not to support Crunchyroll without a reason. You could just watch stuff on Crunchyroll and still and still not pay for it, guys. You're running out of fingers fast.
うるさいな。あの女の真似をしたってろくなことにならないわよ。いいから命令があるまでおとなしくしてるの。いい？わかった？
Yes, mommy.
あんたみたいな可愛くない子、産んだ覚えはないわよ。話はそれだけ？もう切るわよ。
Yeah, thanks. I'll be in touch. Oh. Well then, what to do? It's clear that things are going to get troublesome in a number of ways, but as always, I'm in the dark on the specific details. JB's telling me to do nothing. That's probably the optimal choice at the moment. Even so, that doesn't make it any easier to accept. Get moving before you start thinking too much was a favorite saying of my master's. JB's fond of acting on the basis of incomplete information is like asking for disaster. For now, it might be wisest just to stay at Makina's side as much as possible, while preparing myself for the possibility of an emergency. Oh, the anime is on Crunchyroll? Okay. There's no need to overthink this. I know what I want to protect. I can see it clearly now. Ideally, I'd love to extinguish the source of this fire before the sparks spread in our direction. If that's not a possibility, just need to be ready when things do get ugly. After all, you won't find many guard dogs with nastier fangs than mine. I've been sharpening these teeth a very long time for this exact purpose. Teeth made to catch prey by the tail, drag them close, and rip out the windpipe in one bite. Netflix doesn't have it, Casserola? Damn. But I don't have Netflix, so it's okay. I think the show that they're making is different. Okay, first of all, you do realize that Crunchyroll has been making their own content and shit like for forever, right? They have like talk shows, they have variety shows and stuff alongside the anime and things like that. They've been doing this already. So when they say they'll be making quote unquote their own show, I'm like, yeah, that like they're a for-profit like business. Now when you're saying they're lying and you don't reference specifically the Don Machi mobile game where they had promises to deliver some content to the fans that they did not, that is a very legitimate claim. Because they even took down all their trailers and stuff where they said otherwise in their tweets about it. So, yeah, whatever, man. Just Toblerone anime. With that said, like, if I can watch it ad-free on Crunchyroll, I'll watch it on ad-free on Crunchyroll. Because Hulu, I have to watch ads forced. But the good part of Hulu is, it's a lot of Hulu, man. Me and my friends over the weekend, we just marathoned a ton of Futurama while, like, doing stuff. Anyway, although hearing about her sister's survival calmed Makina down significantly, the events of yesterday are still painfully fresh in her mind. She shows us a brave attempt at a smile, can't hide the weariness beneath it. The girl declares herself uninterested in breakfast and enlists Sachi's assistance. Together we prepare a unique but nutritious mackerel pumpkin soup from Amina's recipe notebook. Makina refuses the meal with an almost frightened expression on her face, so proceeds to pin her arms behind her back as our reliable maid motionlessly crams spoonfuls of food into her mouth. Girl's like, eat, eat, eat. Yo, Meth. I too have not eaten like any food today, so I could really use food as well. Thank you. You are a gentleman and a scholar, and I can't guarantee I can text you because my phone service has been in and out. So, but I do appreciate it. Oh. Anyway, through this admirable display of teamwork, we successfully force-feed the girl the breakfast her body needs. I I know it might be a little hard to eat right now, but your injuries won't heal if you don't get adequate nutrients.
大げさなのよさ。こんなのちょっと日焼けしたようなもんなのよ。
We're lucky this time, yes. Just be grateful that explosion didn't give you an afro. Might sound like a joke, but the hot pulse of air from an explosion burns your hair starting from the tip, sometimes curling it pretty dramatically. As a general rule, it's a good idea to brush a hand over your head when a bomb blast goes by. Often as not, cinders that used to be part of your hair will fall off like sesame seeds from a bun. Alright, this is a good opportunity. Why don't I teach you the anti-explosive self-defense procedure?
何それ。言葉の響きだけでもちょっとかっこいい感じなのよさ。
Listen up, Makina. Ever heard some guy in a suit mutter, "It's getting dangerous these days," while looking over their morning paper? Well, that's not just a vapid catchphrase with self-satisfied middle-aged men who think they figure out how the world works. As we were reminded yesterday, there truly are countless dangers lurking all around us. When such threats arrive, they arrive suddenly, and all too often. We're completely unprepared to defend ourselves. Indeed, such complacent carelessness has become an unfortunate element of our national character. This is the perfect reason Japan has earned the disgraceful title of pacifist patsies among the major powers. It has.
なんかまた面倒なこと言い始めたって思ってるけど、お首にも出さずに真摯に受け止めているふりをしておくよ。
Well, that's nice, I guess. Look, kid. Even if you're thinking that sort of thing, it's better not to actually say it.
ごめんよ。そんで、大爆はどうなった？
Okay, let's try this again. Now I initiate you in the basics of personal defense against explosions. Listen carefully. The fundamental principle is low to the ground. When an explosion is coming, get down first and think later.
爆発の危険を察知したら、まず伏せろ。
Yeah, that helps. Indeed, go prone and get yourself as flat to the ground as you possibly can. With the exception of some specially designed charges, explosions naturally tend to direct their power upward. There's a foxhole nearby, claim it. Doesn't matter if it's full to the brim with a mixture of muddy water and excrement. Doesn't matter if your buddy's pathetic corpse is lying inside. Jump in without a moment's hesitation. After this, assume the anti-explosive position. There's a small flap of cartilage in front of your ear hole called the tragus. Strongly press down on these with your thumbs to protect your eardrums. Next, open your mouth wide. This reduces the burden on your eardrums and keeps your lungs from popping like balloons under the pressure of the shockwave. You've experienced for yourself just how powerful that shockwave is, so I'm sure you can understand. But don't underestimate that pressure. When the explosion occurs indoors, it's even more powerful. If you're close to the blast, it's like being squeezed in the hand of a giant. The pain is intense. Sometimes the pressure can push your eyes clean out of their sockets. While pressing the tragus on both ears with your thumbs, use the remaining fingers to cover your eyelids. Keep your eyeballs where they belong. Defend them against the flash of the explosion. Yeah, I mean, come on. Usually, of course, he's well versed in this, probably. Unfortunately. Good. All right, then. Next up. Beginning image training based on a hypothetical scenario. Situation as follows. Recon mission in the subtropical jungle. The time, dawn. Your enemies are powerful local guerrillas. They're well equipped and have excellent morale. Enter the scenario. Enemy raid! At my abrupt snarl, Makina throws herself flat to the ground. The enemy have ambushed you. Your position is pinned down by machine gun fire. Don't raise your head an inch. Keep that chin nuzzling the ground. Crawl along the ground to the trench visible ahead. As instructed, Makina creeps along the floor on her knees and elbows, clutching an imaginary rifle. A moment later, she slipped her body into the space between the bed and the table. Okay. Alright guys, pardon me, I'm gonna make an order for dinner. Actually, see, this is the beauty of live streams. You know, like you can watch things happen live, like me looking up the menu of the wings place, so that I can ask. Ooh, 20% off 10-piece boneless wings on Mondays. So I didn't type a smiley face. I'm sorry. I meant to smile with that. Oh, pardon me. Just choking on some water, guys. Anyway. As Makina screams this report, she repositions an imaginary iron helmet on her head in order to regain a clear field of vision. Not half bad. She seems to be pretty deeply into this scenario. Incoming from enemy position, M69. Assume the explosive defense position. Makina promptly plugs up both her ears, opens her mouth wide, and strongly presses down on her eyelids. Lowering her body as close to the ground as she can, she melds her body with the trench, tensing in preparation for the blast. Oz? Oh, for ounces. Yeah, that's because in America we use ounces. Sorry. Kaboom! Damn fool, your rear end sticking up into the air. Shrapnel has just robbed you of your left buttock. Get it down, get that ass down. Vigorously trample down Makina's rear end to emphasize the point. It's a kick in the ass. Basic grenade technique is to throw at 2-second intervals. Next one's coming. Assume the explosive defense position. Okay, kaboom! Well, here she is. Just your typical early morning anti-explosives training. If you think of it as an expression of diligent devotion to the national defense, doesn't this almost bring a tear to your eye? You're welcome to join in, Michiru. As you know, Makina happened on the scene of a terror bombing yesterday afternoon. Accordingly, we're training to deal with similar scenarios. There's no downside to acquiring as many survival skills as you can. What if you need to know this? Oh, snap! Because explosions are loud! Well, I thought a silly over-the-top game might briefly get Makina's mind off the fact that her little sister's fighting for her life, but... Just here to make Michiru feel bad. Sorry about that, Makina. Michiru says we're being too noisy. So it seems we'll have to call this training off. Maybe nothing but an innocent safety drill. But if the local civilian populace can't be convinced, you have no choice but to discontinue it. Please understand, Makina. Oh my god, that was so masterful too, the way he did it. Well, I mean, I do understand what you're trying to say, Michiru. In reality, the odds of any one person encountering a dangerous explosion in their lifetime are probably fairly low. It's more likely that this training will end up being meaningless. But worst comes to worst. Won't the people who wasted a few minutes planning for the what-ifs be the ones who get out alive? Isn't that what survival skills are? Why is he so, like, convincing? For example, Michiru, let's say you take a vacation abroad to a country where the fire laws aren't well defined or enforced. As they're gobbling down a tasty local delicacy, a fire breaks out in the crowded restaurant. As panicked customers stampede to push their way through the single doorway, you glance upward and notice the flames slowly reaching their way to a cylinder of propane gas. What do? Think fast! Well, there's a difference between a person who's been trained and a helpless spectator.
That
actually does sound real. I'm sure most of this is going in one ear and out the other, probably not even taking me seriously. But even so, there's something I feel obligated to tell you. Those who laugh at the diligent self-improvement of others will end up crying in the end. Without fail, try to remember that. All of a sudden, Michiru's like, oh, should I learn this?
チルチル、間違わない人なんていないんだよ。そして間違いに気がついたのなら正せばいいんだよ。人生をやり直すのに遅いなんてことはないのよさ。
Why is Makina giving some like old person life advice out of
今
nowhere?
すぐ正していけば全然間に合うんだよ。だってチルチルはまだ生きているんだから。
なんかちょっといいこと言ってる風じゃない。まさか解かれた。マキナに人生を解かれたというの。この私は。
In conclusion, it doesn't matter if you approach this as a kind of game. Remembering the basic principles somewhere in the corner of your mind is good enough. Why not join our anti-explosive training, Michiru? And now Michiru has been convinced that she must know this.
すげえ、チルチルにって言わせちゃったのよさ。この男、口先だけで完全に一人の女を丸め込んじゃったよ。やっぱパパはすげえのな。
Is that how it works? I guess so. Did we just go over this? Even if you think stuff like that, don't actually say it.
私騙されてる？騙されてないよね。
Michiru's like, am I being tricked? Michiru, my friend, think this over carefully. I have no reason to deceive you. Even if I did, hypothetically, it would be the result of my concern for your well-being. You understand?
すげえ、この男すげえ。
When we use the phrase sweet talking, the nuance is usually fairly negative. We tend to imagine someone coaxing an innocent through an insincere lip service. There's nothing inherently wrong about persuasion. For example, if I sweet talk Michiru into re-examining her values, I've peacefully brought her around to my way of thinking. Isn't that an admirable alternative to conflict? Granted, it's hard to feel too self-satisfied about this particular outcome. And all of a sudden, Makina is now Drill Sergeant to Michiru. This is awful. It's just too much. Michiru presses herself flat to the earth in the explosive defense position. Makina mashes a heel down to her posterior, snarling viciously. You feel a slight glimmer of conscience in that the girl at least removed her boots first, but seriously. Where did she even pick up this demon marine drill instructor routine? She's impressively proficient at the verbal abuse. I don't know. Can't imagine where she picked this up from, right, Yuji? Oh, man. What's up?
なんだじゃないわよ。あんたたちが普段やってるレンジャーごっこっていつもこんなことやってるわけ？
I wouldn't say always, but in general, we engage in roughly similar activities.
ごっこでしょ？ごっこよね。なんであの子こんなに本気なわけ？
Because Yuji takes it seriously. Harsh training is a good thing. When you're actually in the field, isn't the thought, that drill instructor put me through worse than this, kind of reassuring? Approach your drills like battle, and battle like your drills.
それ間違ってない。だって私たち学生よ。
Then, there's nothing wrong with the theory. If anything's wrong about this scenario, Wouldn't it be the way you swallow my crap hook, line, and sinker?
やっぱり騙されてたどうした早速泣き言か気合が足りないからそんな弱音が出るのよさよーし気合を入れ直してやる鏡跳躍30回よーい
All right.
鏡跳躍頭の後ろで手を組んで片膝立てて右足左足って交互にジャンピングスクワットするのよさ私が横でやるから真似するのよはい鏡跳躍よーい鏡跳躍よーいはい
I just heard something crack.
貴様何膝をパキパキ鳴らしておるかそれにもっと高く飛べ地上15センチだ最初からやり直し
We'll just get pasta, meth. Yeah, I'm hungry, Uni.
はいだから膝を鳴らすなよもう仕方がないでしょうが
Well, I don't think rattling knees honestly matter much either way. But busting your balls over any arbitrary little thing they can find is a drill instructor's job. Girl seems oddly professional about this, down to the strangest little details. Have to admit, this might feel a little too realistic for a game. Makina, your cell phone seems to be ringing.
本当だ誰からだろう
Makina takes out her phone from her pocket and checks the caller ID screen, but... What's wrong? Aren't you going to answer that?
レンジャー松島私が戻るまで続けるようにレンジャー
Those words, Makina trots off toward the nearby bicycle parking space, phone still buzzing away. When it comes to people calling Makina's cell phone, Suo Amane would be by far the most likely possibility, followed by Komina Sachi. If the call was from either of them, she'd hardly need to be so secretive about it.
16 17 18
Yo, freaking squats are tough, man, sometimes. Hey there, Michiru, you can stop now. Sorry about dragging you into the game.
ねえユージなんか私ちょっと楽しくなってきたかも
Michiru is now brainwashed! That's so? Well, good for you.
じゃあ兄じゃ
Your knees. Michiru's knees rattle violently as she continues her vigorous leaps. Depending on how you look at it, the strange smile on her face can be seen as the delirious expression of a soldier fallen prey to self-destructive despair. Masochist! Well, whatever. There's pretty heavy exercise given the heat, so I suppose a bit of temporary lunacy isn't surprising. Heat and exhaustion often make people go a little off in the head. However, the person in question usually doesn't realize it. Asuko once told me a story from a time she'd been shipped off to a war in South America. An unending heat wave, combined with enemy bombings that came like clockwork every day, had worn down her nerves to the point of numbness. Eventually, the company commander was wounded in action. A new first lieutenant who arrived from the rear took over. He was apparently a timid man, prone to trembling in his trench when the bombs began to fall. Asuko found his shaking so hilarious that she spent the entire duration of attacks cackling uproariously. The lieutenant interpreted this as a sign of derangement and promptly had her shipped back home. What's abnormal? What's normal? If Depends entirely on your circumstances and perspective. Granted, I'm tempted to interpret Michiru's current actions as evidence that she's lost it. But to Michiru, this course of action might seem like the most reasonable thing in the world. Just as I'm pondering this possibility, the girl suddenly stops moving entirely. Squatting down, she wraps her arms around her knees, begins to mutter indistinctly at the ground. With this heat and her clear physical exhaustion, it's possible that her brain is just melting in a stew of lactic acid.
Papa!
Oh hey Makina, what's up? Well, who was that?
おじいちゃまから。
Grandpa. Grandpa would be
私のママのパパ。
the bad guy. The former head of the Irisu family, eh? What did he have to say?
ここじゃちょっと。
I see. In that case, let's head somewhere a little more private. Actually, hold on just 1 second. Mind if I ask you a quick question before we go, Makina?
何?
What does the word Apos signify?
知んない。っていうか、そこ気になっちゃったの？膝抱えてゴロゴロ転がってるチルチルじゃなくて？
I mean, she's laughing, right?
じゃあ、いっか。よくねえよ。いた。もういた。なんで笑ってる私。
Michiru's lost at the end. Michiru seems to have botched the landing and twisted her angle. The heat and fatigue have clearly done a number on the girl. She laughs hysterically as though confusing pain with pleasure. Well, now, what to do? For the moment, Makina and I surround the girl at a distance and poke at her with a stick. Fortunately enough, Sachi happens to pass by a moment later. After we explain the situation, she says, "Leave it to me," and leaves the courtyard at a trot. Assuming the maid had run off to call an ambulance or something of the sort, we wait by Michiru's side, offering encouraging words. This continues for about 15 minutes or so. Long last, Sachi returns in a pristine white maid uniform, cheerfully singing "Wee woo, wee woo," and proceeds to nimbly snap together a folding aluminum stretcher. She changed clothes first? I'm certain we're all thinking it, but nobody dares to actually voice the words. In any case, Makina and I go with the flow and trust Michiru to her new nurse's enthusiastic care. Then offer our brave colleague a deeply sincere salute as she's rolled off on the wheeled stretcher like a cylinder of propane on a cart. So are you willing to tell me about that call?
っていうか、パパには聞いてほしいのよさ。
Of course. I'll listen.
はい、マキナです。
おう、マキナか。久しぶりだな。
Oh wow, you sound just like the guy,
はい、おじいちゃま、お久しぶりです。でも、どうして急に？
すまんがマキナ、もう少し大きな声で。私ももう年でな、耳がよう聞こえん。
The person on the other end of the line was Makina's grandfather. The call had been placed directly by Irisu Haruchika, the man who led the Irisu clan before his
お
retirement.
前ももう知っとるとは思うが、サリナが事故に遭った。
あれは事故なんかじゃないよ、おじいちゃま。
事故なんだよ、マキナ。あれは不幸な事故だ。わかるか？
Basically, that's a very clear warning that's saying, it's an accident, and you will accept that it was an accident.
わかりたくもないよ。
マキナよ、どうだ？そろそろ家に帰ってこんか？
Oh snap.
今さらだよ、おじいちゃま。何を今さら言い出すんだよ。
そう怒るな。私がお前の見舞いに行かなかったのにも、それなりの理由があってだな。
What? Are you saying, is there like a power struggle going on again in the Makina, in the Irisu
そ
family?
れに、私はお前が退院したことも、先日まで知らされておらんかった。
It's only what, like a few years? Faction within the branch house afraid of Makina's potential return must have deliberately prevented that information from reaching him. However, when a hefty check of 70 million yen was issued in Makina's name, an inquiry from the bank found its way directly to her grandfather. Only then did he learn Makina had been released some time before.
私はお前が未だに廃人状態のまま長期入院していると聞かされていたんだ。
Oh, is it that
退
the
院したのならなぜ顔を見せに来ない？
so that the grandfather actually supported Makina to be the head, but the mother wanted to have her own way, and that's why she supported Sarina on her end? Let's see. Makina struggled to find an answer to her grandfather's question.
正隆君のことをまだ気にしておるのか？あれは事故だったんだ。
So is everything to her grandfather just a quote-unquote accident? Her father, the person she loved more than anyone else in the world, was gone. All that was left there was her nasty, high-strung mother, her grandmother who used to stare at her with the cold eyes of someone contemplating a broken toy, her kind but willfully blind grandfather, utterly unreliable when push came to shove, and the servants who suffocated her spirit, justifying everything with the words, "I'm afraid these were my instructions." At a glance, that house offered everything a person could possibly want. It was a hollow shell full of hollow people, a gilded prison. Yeah. Well, or maybe like if her grandfather is a kind blind guy, he might turn. I'm not sure if they mean that like he's literally blind, or if he just turns a blind eye to things and pretends nothing's wrong. It was the sort of place where saying, "I want to learn how to ride a bike" would result in someone buying you a purebred horse who hadn't even asked for. You hadn't even asked for. What was there to miss about a home like that?
おじいちゃま、私はもうあの家には戻りたくない。
They no doubt take good care of her if she returned, only because they valued her as an asset or respected her position. Nobody there would even try to understand Makina herself. Some might say, "So what? Sounds like a pretty good deal." Maybe they wouldn't be wrong. Others might say, "You ran away from home. You're still going to this school on your family's money, living completely freely. What right do you have to complain?" And she couldn't argue that point. Even so, just thinking about returning to that house made Makina's eyes fill with tears. Everything that was precious to her, everything she needed to be herself, her individuality and personality, all such inconvenient baggage would be ruthlessly thrown away. Money and power warped people beyond recognition. Makina knew that all too well. She was simply afraid of that house.
お前の気持ちはわかる。背負うものの大きさを考えれば誰もができる仕事ではなかろうし、それが恐ろしくもあろう。だがそれゆえにお前にしかできん仕事でもあるということだ。戻ってこい、マキナ。
マキナ。
おじいちゃま、マキナはもう昔のマキナじゃないのよさ。もう昔みたいにはなりたくないのよ。
マジでか。
マジだよ。おじいちゃま、ごめんね。もう嫌なの、耐えられないのよさ。
She's like, I'm human. I'm sorry.
そうか。しかしそうは言っても誰も認めんだろうな。
ダダダダーン。
まあそうだな。すぐに戻れとは言わん。しばらく考えてみたらどうだ。1年後の自分、10年後の自分、そして30年後の自分がどうなっているかをよーく考えて、それからどうするか決めるといい。
I know, right? It's kind of funny because, like, you know, I'm pretty sure in like 30 years she'll still be like, I'm gonna be like, you know, in like 30 years, so she's definitely gonna be like, no, I'm okay, I'm here.
多分おじいちゃまはっていうか宗家の人たちは 私のこと諦めてないと思う。
Yeah, so even despite the power struggle, it seems Makina still held a place of high regard for some of the people who want to use her for that position in the family.
もしかしたら今回の爆破事件だって私を家に戻すために宗家の人たちが起こしたのかもしれない。
But if they screwed up even slightly, you could have gotten blown away too.
もし事件を起こしたのが宗家の人たちなら、私があの場に居合わせたのは本当に想定外のことで、相当慌てたと思う。
I mean, that would explain the sudden phone call from your grandfather. That's true. I don't really follow all this business with the main family and branch family. At the end of the day, what are their objectives here?
結局のところ、これは宗家と分家のお家騒動なのよさ。宗家筋直系の私と分家の代表の妹、どっちが入助を継ぐかの争いで、あの人たちの目的はお金と権力。
Oh, okay. So basically, they're like the two potential heads of the family. Not familiar with the exact details, but I understand the scale of the prize we're talking about here. The Urisu family's long-standing assets extend to countless subsidiaries, both foreign and domestic. They're not just prominent in industrial manufacturing, financial and retail, but also major players in iron and steel, shipbuilding, and even armaments. The money flowing through the Urisu apparently rivals the budget of a small, country? Yep. A pencil made by the Urisu scratches down your name on the birth certificate in a government office. You eat food imported by the Urisu in your school cafeteria as you grow. In time, you find employment and enterprise under the Urisu umbrella. You grow sick, you're taken away to an Urisu hospital. When you die, you rest under a gravestone manufactured by the Urisu. If you're born in Japan, it's all but impossible not to interact with that family in some way. But despite this astonishingly wide influence, the name Urisu itself will probably get you a blank stare as often as not. Brands in their conglomerate include many household names, but the parent company itself is fairly obscure. They say those with real power don't tend to advertise it, like the old nobility hidden up above the clouds. And Urisu Makina, who stands to inherit the seat at the very top of this lofty house, is still in her teens, practically a child. Who could blame the girl? She panicked in the face of that burden. She ran away and tried to hide. Your grandfather said you don't have to come back immediately, didn't he? In that case, it seems to me you should start by mulling this over. First of all, whether you're going to return to your family or not. And once that's settled, figure out what you're going to do when you return, or what you're going to do when you refuse, what you really want to do from now on. Your grandpa gave you the chance to deliberate about this, right?
そうだけど、でもおじいちゃまだっていつまでも待っていてくれるわけじゃないと思うのよ。
It'd be funny if the true secret of the Urisu family is we have all this power, we can do all this stuff, and we just make a lot of mistakes. Oops. Not a problem. I'll get you as much time as you need.
どうやって？
That depends on how they want to play it. I haven't settled on any specific plans yet, but I'm ready to do anything I need to.
なんても？
That's right. Don't you remember? Made you a promise, Makina. Even if everyone else in the world became your enemy, I'd protect you. Those words weren't just for show. I really will do whatever I possibly can. You don't need to worry about a thing. Just go about your normal life exactly as you have.
でも
Don't worry. You've given me a fair compensation for my services. Nothing to feel guilty about. You're important enough to me that I was willing to make that promise. Hell, at this point, you become my purpose in life. I'm living for your sake, and I'll die for your sake. I'm prepared for that from the start. In conclusion, there's no problems here. Kick the crap out of every last jackass stupid enough to harass you. Just sit back and see what a man who's found something to protect can do.
いいの？それでいいの？
Hell yeah. I'm your father, remember? Showing off in front of our kids like this is what we do. There's nothing a father doesn't know, no problem he can't overcome. In other words, relax and think this over carefully. Whatever your choice, I'll accept it absolutely and support you with everything I've got.
Papa!
Overcome with emotion, even beginning to sob a little, Makina ducks her upper body low to the ground and rushes forward. Split second later, her forehead smacks into my solar plexus with a solid thump. Ugh! To be perfectly honest, the impact's so sharp it's difficult to even breathe properly. Sinking to my knees here would hardly help me keep the girl's hard-won trust. An extremely strained attempt at a smile, grab hold of Makina's fuzzy little hand and squeeze her tightly against my chest. Strongly, very strongly. In the protective bear hug of a reliable parent. Gets hit in the solar plexus. Stay standing and stay strong. After that day, I've attempted to stay close to my Makina's side as much as possible. I sincerely doubt there'd be many idiots reckless enough to try and pull anything inside this school. Essentially a stronghold of the Sekai family, preparing for that long shot what if is my job. Fortunately, I've been trained in guarding someone without even allowing them to realize they're being protected. Breathing is overrated. That hug killed Makina at the end. Oh, well, that was quick. Game over, guys. Game over. The only real problem is night. Without a doubt, human beings are more defenseless when they're sleeping. It's ideal timing for a raid or a kidnapping attempt. And even I'm not capable of staying awake constantly to protect the girl as she sleeps. As the single simplest countermeasure, it would be ideal if I could arrange to spend my nights with Makina, but...
今日からパパの部屋でパパと一緒に寝てもいいかな。
Caught off guard by this admittedly rather abrupt inquiry, Amina stares intently down to Makina's face for a long moment, then turns her laser-like gaze on me. Makina's expression is unusually serious, with no hint of the standard messing around. And although this would usually be the part where I deliver a karate chop to that well-positioned head of hers, I simply stand quietly behind the girl without raising any objection. Apparently Amina senses something strange in the air. She lets out a long, soft sigh, then nods deeply to herself.
Makina, あんた自分が何を言っているかちゃんと分かってる?
Pretty quick response, right?
あんたが決めたのなら私は何も言わない。でも一度決めたのならちゃんと最後まで頑張るのよ。怖かったり痛かったりしても途中でやめてって言っちゃダメよ。永遠に続く夜なんてない。必ず朝は来るから頑張るのよ。頑張るけど。ユージもマキナが痛がってたり苦しんでたりしたら自分の都合ばっかりじゃなくマキナのこともちゃんと考えてあげなきゃダメよ。
I mean, Amina, can you not assume that we're gonna be doing that? Well, yeah, that's the plan.
それとちゃんと否認はするのよ。コンドーム持ってる?
Can we, like, not assume that that's happening? Okay, Amina. Let me return that question from a moment ago. Do you have any idea what you're saying?
Eh?
You're worried. What? Doesn't cut it, woman. Although it seems there may have been a slight discrepancy in our understanding of the situation, it was agreed that Makina would spend her nights in my room. Regrettably, my room only has one bed, and it's a single. It wouldn't be so bad to huddle together for warmth in the winter, but at this time of the year, the idea is not particularly appealing. Yielding the bed to Makina, I spread out a mat, sleeping bag on the floor for myself. Yep. Little hot for that, don't you think? At my old school, 10 at night was lights out time, and by 11 they cut the electricity to the dorm off entirely. I mean, the air conditioners weren't dead. In other words, I'm fairly accustomed to sleeping under hot and stuffy conditions. There's hardly any need to go out of my way to recreate the experience. And also, if by any chance someone really did attack, we'd be better off sleeping at different points in the room. Attack Team A probably leads off by knocking at the door, Just as I'm getting up to reach for the knob, they blast the lock, upper and lower hinges with simultaneous shotgun fire. As I flinch backwards reflexively, Team B crashes in through the window on the opposite side of the room and pincers us both. Doubt I'd be able to hold them off for even 3 minutes. Compared to me and Makina huddled together in one bed where we can easily be encircled, dispersing ourselves on the bed and floor expands the area that has to be targeted, giving us more options. Yep. Alright, time to sleep. Get in bed. Mumbling her approval listlessly, Makina turns around to face me away from me, then abruptly begins pulling off her clothes on the spot. After stripping down to her underpants, she takes a big t-shirt found all loose in the collar, presumably a hand-me-down from Amane, and pulls it over her head as sleepwear. Might be a t-shirt to Amane, but on Makina it's a one-piece dress. Resisting a sudden urge to smile, I open my window and drape the towel I used after my shoulder outside to dry. Carefully positioning the towel just low enough to hide the bed Makina has crawled into almost completely, and deliberately leave the curtains open. For anyone out there interested in observing this room, this strip of fabric will present a simple hindrance. The bath towel's position shifts even slightly overnight, which suggests the existence of someone looking inside. The degree and direction of the movement could even be determined at the point from which they're observing us. Basic tricks like this won't often accomplish much against a professional, though a multitude of small insurance policies is the best way to keep things safe and quiet. Just so you know, paranoid. There you go. Turn off the lights. A sliver of pale light streams into the room from the streetlight outside. There's no sound but the chirping of insects somewhere far away, so the cicadas are still singing. The bright city and warm concrete might have caused them to confuse night with day. I yawn inside my sleeping bag, feeling dull fatigue slowly spreading out from behind my eyes. Going to bed at this hour should mean I'll wake up briefly around 2:30 in the morning, check up on Makina, to go back to sleep for a few hours. What's up? What, again? You have anything specific in mind? Something I want to be, huh? I think this is the first time she asked me about my future rather than my past. Putting aside the question of whether I'll even have one, it's not like I haven't daydreamed about it every once in a while. But even so, there's a collar on my neck that isn't coming off till I'm dead. Taking that into consideration, the number of paths realistically open to me are severely limited. Let's see. Guess I see myself ending up as a taxi driver, maybe? It's a classic choice for our employees. While spending most of your time working for a private taxi company, you get a minor allowance of 150,000 yen a month as a reserve member, ready to be called up when needed. Jobs open to an employee on the reserve aren't strictly limited, but ideally they want you in a position where you can respond quickly to an emergency summons. From the perspective, a taxi driver is probably the best possible option. How about you, Makina? You have any ideas about the future? You don't have to think about the thing with your family. I'm asking about your dreams. Well, you're going to graduate eventually. Oh, mind letting me hear your thoughts? It's pretty ambitious. Oh, that's right. She did say something about a sniper or a baker, didn't she? There's an idea. If you had a bakery like that, I could stop by in my taxi to hang out.
さんには私と一緒にお店をやってほしいのよさ。
What? I'm part of this too?
そう。私がパンを焼くから、パパはコーヒーとか紅茶を入れる人。どう？
I mean, I think Yuji would be trustworthy with coffee and tea, right? I see. Yeah. I guess the kind of life wouldn't be half bad either.
だろ？きっと毎日が楽しいのよ。ずっとずっと楽しいのよ。
Yeah, almost like a dream. I don't know exactly what kind of life Makina lived up until now, but I do know a little about the Irisu, family of immense power that stays behind the scenes, constantly maneuvering deep below the surface of society. I know Makina didn't ask for the role they forced onto her soldiers. Even as a child, she sensed something strange about the world she lived in, so clearly different from that of others her age, and in time she came directly into contact with the foul corruption inside her own family. That corruption claimed her father, the only person in the Irisu household that really loved her. She hasn't had a real ally since. Even that small goal of opening a bakery, hardly the wildest of ambitions, must seem like a faint and distant dream to Makina. Wait, what? Makina's hopes for the future had stayed hidden away deep inside for some time. Maybe speaking them out loud provided something in the way of catharsis. The girl's already snoring softly into her pillow. If my child has dreams, I won't spare any effort to help make them happen. That's my role now. Problem is Makina's grandfather. Girls told him that she isn't going to return, but I can't imagine he'll accept that answer. Makina wants nothing to do with the Irisu clan anymore, but simply declaring that won't bring this to an end. Even if we did manage to win over her grandfather, the Irisu aren't a small enough organization to be swayed by the will of one soft-hearted individual. It was too late the moment the old man learned she was in good health. Makina will be dragged into a power struggle, whether or not she wants any part of it. There's no longer any room for doubt. Even if I make the whole world my enemy, huh? Might have gone a little overboard with that one. Might come true. No, Casserola. What happened was, Makina gave Yuji 70 million yen to be her dad or her papa, because she wanted some sort of father figure in her life, because her former father was shot in cold blood and she had to hang out with the rotting corpse for a week. A lot of psychological trauma there. So Yuji is basically acting out the role of father for Makina, and that's why Makina calls him Papa. But there are some things a man has to do. I made my decision, and I'll carry it out. I think they're only 2 or 3 years apart in age anyway. Even if that means tearing the chains off my neck and becoming a stray. I think this job might be the reason why I'm here. And in that light, it feels as though my life might have some small meaning of its own. Yeah, they're only like 2 or 3 years apart, Makina and Yuji. It's just because Makina suffered from a psychological trauma that was very great. She's very, oh yeah, 70 million yen is how much she paid. The next morning, I wake up drenched in sweat. Not that anything was out of the ordinary, just the usual nightmare. As planned, I woke up at 2:30 to check out my Makina. The girl was still out like a light, drooling onto an already filthy pillow. All well and good. When I tried to go back to sleep, I found my nerves were badly on edge. Although I kept my eyes shut and turned around in my sleeping bag many times, I couldn't manage to get much rest. When I did nod off into light slumber, I spent maybe 15 minutes in the nightmare, then jerk awake again. The pattern played out again and again, straight through the morning. Just how long will it take before I can forget that day? The memory is glued in place, never fading no matter how many years pass. Can you remember the dull sensation of the weapon against my palm? As I wipe beads of sticky sweat from my forehead with the back of one hand, My half-open eyelids twitch at the touch of summer sunlight. Light pouring in through the window is already intense, suggesting another blazing hot day to come. It's actually closer to about like 673,000 US dollars. I would say. Huh. It's no good. Harsh breathing just doesn't want to settle down. Can't get back into my normal rhythm. This heavy, irritating feeling, as though I've got some malevolent spirit squatting on my back, lingers on and on. Suddenly realizing my throat's painfully dry, I force my leaden body up off the ground and crawl out of my sleeping bag. Pour myself a glass of tap water from the kitchen sink, and then another, and another. Can't stop sweating. No matter how many times I wipe the salty liquid off my face, the beads keep trickling down in the moment. In the moment, I realize they're actually tears, send someone gazing at me. Nothing's wrong. No doubt woken by the sound of the gushing faucet, Makina is sitting up in bed. Her eyes are still bleary with sleep, but her gaze is focused intently on me. It's nothing. I'm just sweating. Rather than embarrassment at letting the girl see me crying, fear at having revealed my weakness takes precedence. Menaced by some vaguely defined shadow, overwhelmed by the need to escape, I hurriedly throw on my running clothes. Gonna run for a while. Beyond pathetic. No matter how many years pass, I'm still gutless I'm still a gutless weakling brought to tears by dreams. I'm always running away from something, always being chased by shadows. Even after my master took me in, this fundamental cowardice never really went away. I need to protect Makina. For her sake, of course, but also for mine. If I were to lose even her, I don't think I'd be able to get back on my feet again. I run into the muggy morning as if fleeing from that frightening thought. Makina, are you really alright with this? What? Very well then. Papa will now rob you of your virginity. Wait, what the fuck? You know, I just put this random picture of Nep. Guys, look here, okay? Look here. Look here. Nothing weird is happening, alright? Maki's like, rob it real good, man! Here we go. Don't worry, she just said, this is friggin' ridiculous, you know? I don't remember, you know what, you don't remember Adult Neptune just being here to tell you not to worry about what's happening? I'm not done yet, you know? And, Makina's just like, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but I'm a lolly. You're going to jail today. Let me explain something to you, Makina. When a man sets his mind on something, you know what? Just bad touch, bad touch. It's like Makina gets where Yuji's coming from, but not in that way, guys. Okay then, let's get back to it. It actually more sounds like he's ripping something apart, and I don't know. Wait, what? Because apparently Makina's imagination of sex involves her getting torn in half and her complaining about being torn in half. Okay. Oh my god, there's two of them! There's two! Actually, it's really funny. It's just, it's not even like bad, it's just there's two in the dialogue box in the bottom. But just in case, gotta keep that up. Alright. That was it. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. This might have been Amina's delusion or Makina's. What is wrong with you, woman? Okay, so Amina is just like imagining this is what happened. Wow. Wow. What the fuck, Amina? Oh my god. When I returned from my run, I found Amina waiting for me in the lounge. From what she tells me, it seems Makina's been acting strangely. Early this morning, the girl visited Amina's room with a somewhat discouraged look on her face and proceeded to sit around sighing heavily. Amina tried to talk to her, but she answered only in vague grunts and monosyllables. Speculating that things hadn't gone well in bed last night, Amina searched for appropriate words of comfort. When she looked back after taking her eyes off the girl for a brief moment, it seems that Makina had begun vigorously kneading wheat flour dough in the kitchen, cheerfully singing an incomprehensible mystery song to herself. You know, guys, I don't know what's happening this route. I don't even know what I'm eating for dinner, much less what's happening this route, guys. Puzzled at this rapid improvement in our move, Amina shrugged and went off to take a shower. When she returned to her room this time, she found Makina curled up in the corner of the room with her head in her hands, groaning miserably. Faced with these absurdly dramatic and seemingly random mood swings, Amina arrived at a bold hypothesis. What the fuck is wrong with you, Amina? Alright, Amina, first of all, let's think this over rationally. Who would this trick be trying to deceive, and to what end? Nothing worth mentioning. I do have a rough idea as to the root cause of Makina's unusual behavior. Girls had a heavy problem fall onto her shoulders out of nowhere, and it's not something she can carelessly discuss with her friends. But moping around in silence will only attract concern and make her feel even more awkward and miserable. So she forced herself to smile and sing in an attempt to lighten the mood. But soon enough, some careless thought abruptly reminded her of her worries. Once again, Makina ended up with her head in her hands, sighing and groaning over the problems she can't possibly resolve on her own. The one and only person she could really talk to about all this is me. Seeing tears on my face this morning must have worsened her emotional turmoil. Rather than running off in an inept attempt at hiding what happened, I should have sat down and talked to her girl honestly. Looking back on it now, I regret that choice. No, because we didn't try. Don't you love it when they update a game to fix bugs and actually break it? It happens all the time. You know? Well, hello to you too. I mean, why are you even here?
風見さんとマキちゃんが同勤するというお話を昨夜天音さんから聞き及びましては、老婆心とでも申しましょうか。
マ
キちゃんの友人として安閑としてはいられようもなく、結果の以下を本人の口から厳しく問いただそうかと思いまして。
Look, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I didn't do anything I need to feel guilty about. Makina came to my room and slept in my bed. I slept on the floor, that's it. Nothing else happened. Clear enough for you two? Because nothing happened?
風見さん、あなたには失望しました。
Well, it's judging eyes! Sorry, why?
いい、ユージ。女の子がね、男の部屋に泊まるってのは、それはもうやって OK ってことなのよ。
I really don't think that's a universal law. Personally, I've heard plenty of stories about women crashing at a male friend's place after missing the last train home. Then awkwardly shooting the guy down when he tries to make a move.
抱かれる意を決し、いつもより念入りにお風呂に入って、抱えた枕で高鳴る胸の鼓動を隠しつつも、さあ、いつでも抱きなさいと身構えていればあっさりする。これではマキちゃんの女としてのプライドがズタズタです。
Yeah, that's not it, guys. Okay, but what exactly are you telling me to do here?
マキナなら 今私の部屋でパン焼いてるから、そっと背中を抱きしめて、マキナ、お前が欲しいって言えばいいのよ。
But look, what if she just shakes me off and yells, "Cut it out" or something? Now I'm the one nursing Bruce's ego. Sulky women are troublesome beyond measure. The representative director of the Troublesome Women's Society, Madam JB, is a prototypical example. Not only will she shriek, "Cut it out" when you try to make amends, you actually stop, she'll get even angrier. It's truly incomprehensible.
なんだかんだと大人ぶってはいても、所詮はユージもお子ちゃまね。あんた全然わかってないわよ。
Why is everyone still coming out of the woodwork? It's what I needed. Another pain in the ass.
いい？ツンデレが嫌と言ったときはオッケーってことなのよ。わかる？押すなと言ったら押せ。それがツンデレよ。
That's only for you, Michiru.
それはツンデレではなくリアクション芸人なのではないでしょうか。
I mean, I guess. In the first place, Makina's not exactly a tsundere, right?
とにかく嫌って言ってても心の中じゃもっとグイグイ来なさいよ。嫌がってる私を無理やりねじ伏せてみなさいよってことなのよ。わかる？
Disclaimer. Don't listen to what Michiru says. And disclaimer. Well, sort of, I guess, maybe.
あなたたち、またこんなところで朝からたむろして、今度は何の悪巧みをしているというの？
Apparently, my Coke Zero got shaken up in the time that it was delivered to me, and now I have Coke Zero all over my hands. And, give me a second, guys. I need a paper towel! Don't worry, here at animefanrk2k's home, we are professionals who are well versed in the act of being professional. God damn it! GG had the one job. I mean, to be fair, Meth did on purpose. Darn it! It was his secret tactics all along. I mean, to be fair, I waited a good, like, 30 minutes with the bottle just in case, and it still went kaboomies, so, you know, that happens sometimes. Refreshing. I'll bet slightly messy. So, man, just, also could be the temperature difference between when it was really cold and it heating up because it was sitting out for 30 minutes, but whatever.
いや、別に悪巧みってわけじゃないわよ。マキナが昨べはユージの部屋に泊まったってのに何もなかったって言うから。まずはそれが本当か嘘かって話から始まって、もし本当に何もなかったのなら何が原因なんだろうねって、そんな感じ？
It's actually even funnier for Sakaki, who's like, man, I even know why they...
風見くん、
Yes?
あなたの他人から誤解されやすい性格や同行した冗談を平気で口にする態度に軽微な問題があったとしても
Pretty on point for Yuji's personality.
決して不誠実だとは思ってはいないし、私はこれでも一応あなたのことは節度のある人物だと認識しています。ですから正直に言いなさい。イリスさんを抱いたの。
Like I said, I didn't touch a girl. How many times do people expect me to explain this?
本当に何もしなくていいよ。
Oh, you're so damn noisy. Don't all you start squawking at once.
お待たせ。パンが焼けたのよさ。ってみんなしてこんなとこ集まって何してんのよさ。
Because you got buns, hun. Don't ask me. Too much damn time on their hands. A lot of them.
なんかよくわかんないけど、みんなパン食べる？待望の新作 M8i2 なのよ。
What?
M8i2 そう、M はメロンパンを表す形式記号で、8は8番目に作ったパンを表して、I は制作者のイニシャル、イリスの I。 最後の2は改良番号。
Oh, it's version 2.0 of the 8th melon bread product.
2回改良を受けましたよって意味なのよさ。
見た目は普通のメロンパンじゃない。何をどう改良したってのよ。
Time for some shogeki no soma levels of reaction, right?
パンは焼くと膨らむでしょ。だから表面のクッキー生地とベースのパンの間に波形に型抜きしたパイ生地が挟んであるのよさ。メロンパンの命ともいえるかじりついた時のザクザク感を大事にしてみました。
Sort of like the wing of an airplane, structurally speaking.
そう、ヒントはそれ。錦大帝の羽と同じ構造なのよさ。
There you go, guys. Inspiration. No kidding? Clearly put some thought into this.
まあ、食ってみ。結構いけるのよさ。
Good melon bread, man. I see. That layer of air between the surface and main body really does emphasize the crispiness of the cookie dough. Not half bad.
だろう、みんなも食べて感想を聞かせてほしいのよさ。
どれどれ？ほんとだ。なんか今までにはないメロンパン感覚。ふんわりザクザク？私これ結構好きかも。
でもなんかスカスカしてるわね。食べ応えが足りないんじゃない？
そうね。でも温かい状態でアイスクリームと一緒に食べたら美味しいかもしれないわね。
Oh.
やはり食べ応えが今後の課題なのよさ。早急に M8i3 の開発に着手せねば。
What? You've already got the next edition planned out?
パンと生地の間に井桁を組んで中にクリームをサンドするインテグラルタンク構造にしてみるのよさ。
So we're switching from the flying boat to the flying cigar, huh?
かじりついた瞬間にブビュッとクリームがはみ出る新構造、名付けてワンバイトオーバーフロー。これは売れる。食べにくいけど売れる。
No, if it's not easy to eat, it won't sell, Makina! Beth, there's no food here. Not sure if I follow the logic there, but a passion for experimentation is a good thing. In a society defined by abundant plenty, something that's tasty but tricky to eat might distinguish itself as a high class precisely because of the slight inconvenience involved. The girl might not be too far off conceptually. That's all well and good, but at this point I'm going to take the conversation down a troubling new path.
前から聞こう思うててんけど、なんでメロンパンなのに丸いん？丸いのはサンライズやん。
Thanks to this cryptic remark from our former Kanto resident, what the heck is a sunrise becomes a hot topic of the moment. Not that I particularly give a shit.
ふんじゃ、バイトに行ってくるのよさ。
Good, give him hell, kid. For long, it's 8 o'clock, and Makina is setting off for a shift at the bakery. Watching the girl march triumphantly out of the room, her prototype MAI2 safely stowed in a plastic bag, and I nod deeply to myself. Alright then, guess I should get going as well.
あんたもどっか行くの？
Yeah, I'm working today myself. Even as I'm speaking, I quickly slip into one of my work uniforms and swing a bag full of tools over my shoulder.
帰りは？何時頃になるの？
Let's see, 5:30 or so, as long as nothing comes up.
そう。じゃあマキナと大体同じ時間だね。晩ご飯用意して待ってるから。遅くなるときは電話して。
Time to tail Makina. Will do. Alright then, I'll be on my way.
はい、いってらっしゃい。
Suppose this still qualifies as a part-time job. It's different from the normal routine. Today I'm working as Makina's bodyguard. Received the full 70 million advance payment on this one. So I can't exactly treat it like a game. The sort of money warrants a serious approach and professional attitude. Stepping out of the school gate, I casually turn my head to glance in the direction of the shopping district, immediately spotting Makina in the distance. After confirming that there aren't any suspicious cars stopped in the area, I start walking after her on the opposite side of the street. There'd hardly be any point to tagging right along after the girl. Easier and less conspicuous just to walk her down to the station in the first place. I do have my reasons for taking a more furtive approach. First of all, I don't want Makina to be aware that I'm guarding her. She knows I'm protecting her. The knowledge would start to influence her actions in revealing ways. If I told her to try and act normally, awkward movement would give it away sooner or later, tipping off anyone who might be observing. The enemy realizes Makina has a bodyguard, will change their tactics accordingly. That wouldn't be much fun from my perspective. The ideal is to keep both Makina and anyone targeting her ignorant of my presence. Therefore, after following her from a good distance for a while, I began cutting quickly through side streets to get ahead of her. If I was targeting Makina, I'd spend 7 days at the very least on observation, trying to get a solid grasp for her daily patterns of behavior. For making any attempt, I'd compile the most detailed possible data I could on her walking speed, route, and typical itinerary. Sniper, kidnapper, whatever, any pro would do the same. In fact, I spent some time this morning putting myself in the shoes of an assassin, narrowing down some potential sniping points. Devise and evaluate a few plausible spots, simulating attempts at shooting Makina on her way to and from the bakery, but as a target, the girl's genuinely troublesome. First of all, she's a shrimp. Makes for a smaller target more easily obstructed. Secondly, her actions are frequently hard to anticipate. The girl comes across some hostess walk with a cute little doggy, she'll without a doubt stop dead and hold a lengthy conversation with the animal. On top of it all, there's that fundamentally whimsical personality. She needs to make 3 turns to her destination, she'll randomly change the roads she uses, so it's hard to nail down an exact route. Take all those negatives into account, there are 2 spots that seem potentially effective. Take out a hand-drawn map from the pocket of my school uniform. A detailed sketch of the terrain with a decent radius of the situation, 2 lines connecting hypothetical sniping spots and impact points. First potentially effective choice is a shot from on top of the pedestrian bridge over the East Beach Line rail track, which provides a good view of the main shopping district area. There's practically no cover to worry about, and the distance would only be about 300 meters. On top of which, you'd be hitting the girl from behind, making it easier to line up the shot. Problem is, you'd stand out too much. You openly set up shop with a rifle up there, even a dim-witted grade schooler would point and yell, "Look, mommy, it's an assassin!" Considering the risk of exposure, you'd probably have to snipe from under the canopy of a parked truck. With that, limit your angle of fire severely, making it easy to lose track of the target in the crowd. Not too appetizing. Do take a look just for safety's sake, but there don't seem to be any suspicious idling cars in the area I marked as suitable for sniping. Snipers need time to prepare. It's not like they're going to tear up, fire a shot from the window, then peel out. Probably safe to conclude no one's shooting from there today. There's also a second possibility, a shot from the 8th floor of the parking garage south of Mishima Cape Station, next to the fashion building currently under construction. The structure itself isn't open to public yet, so entry is restricted. In other words, once you slip in, you'll be able to spread out a pretty sizable shop without any awkward questions from passerbys. Also, since it's a downward angle, you should get a clean line of sight. The target's short stature won't be nearly so much of an issue. However, the shot would require firing between 2 buildings, obstructed by an elevated park and the Mishima Cape Station itself. No matter where you position yourself, you're not going to get even a 2-meter slice of visibility. Once more, you're firing at Makina from the side as she walks past from a range of 600 meters. You take the time to identify the girl after she enters your field of view. She'll have walked right by before you can get a bullet over there. In other words, you've got one chance and only lasts a few seconds. Can't see it working without a cooperator following the target, constantly keeping you up to date on her movements. And that's probably what Yuji's looking for, a potential cooperator. Stopping just before an intersection that connects my side street to the main road, I peer down at the map in my hand, play acting a blue-collar worker new to the area. While glancing around as if to search for landmarks, I spot Makina approaching from the left. Keeping the brim of my plain workman's cap low over my eyes, I proceed to gaze in her general direction, not focusing on anything in particular. You start deliberately darting your eyes around looking for suspicious people, tend to get tunnel vision. Actually, I end up missing more than you would otherwise. On the other hand, taking the scene as a whole like you're appreciating a work of art, people moving in unusual ways will stand out as if painted in vivid hues. Right now, we're near the very tail end of the morning rush to work. There aren't many people on the streets. Among the sparse crowd, one man quickly catches my eye, strolling along behind Makina, shooting a regular glance while putting on a great show of casual looking around the area. Complete amateur in any way you look at him. Tales comically awful. Seen love-struck middle schoolers stalking their crushes with more subtlety. At a glance, the guy seems to be in his late 20s or early 30s, wearing a 3,000 yen pair of loafers and a 2 for 30,000 suit. He's also got on a pair of eyeglasses with unusually thick black rims, perhaps as an attempt at a disguise, but counterproductively to make him stand out in the crowd. Could almost just leave this be, not like he's going to get anywhere worthwhile. Even so, I'd like to know who this kid belongs to. Folding the map into a neat square and putting it away in my chest pocket, casually step into a nearby Busky Robinson. Shoot? No, don't shoot. Baskin Robbins ice cream store. Muttering into the mic of an icy reporter set up in the inside pocket of his jacket, Yara followed the girl from behind with his eyes. Crying out loud, why did it turn out like this? It had been a year and a half since Ihara resigned his previous position in the security company, took a job at the IGS detective agency through a friend's recommendation. Detective work had appealed strongly to Ihara since childhood. He did, of course, understand by now that a real Flatfoot's job wasn't the hard-boiled stuff from the stories. Changing the title on his business card from guard to investigator proved too tempting to pass up. However, even after 3 long months of training, he was relegated to sorting raw material, processing documents, and other desk work. The rare field work that trickled down to him tended to be odd jobs like investigating adultery or searching for the lost pets. He spent the better part of a year waiting unhappily for a chance to flex his muscles a little. Just as he was starting to feel something like regret at ditching the security guard position, a senior employee abruptly stopped by and said, "Chief wants to see you. Get a move on. Your clothes are fine as they are." Yara's first reaction had been to tilt his head in confusion and try to remember if he screwed anything up lately. Then the man leaned down and whispered, "Seems like you're getting a pretty important job." He'd honestly been pretty damn excited for their chance to get some real work. Thrilled even, until he learned the important job amounted to stalking a little girl. More than a bit of a letdown. That said, this Makina kid, currently tromping along the sidewalk 8 meters or so ahead of him, was certainly keeping Yara on his toes. The girl was constantly glancing around the area as she walked, and if something caught her eye, she'd often come to an abrupt and total halt. Keeping a constant distance was proving very difficult, and even worse, she seemed to have a habit of glancing briefly behind her every time she turned a corner, never failing to startle him. Almost seemed like she might just have a terrible sense of direction. That constantly moving gaze could be her memorizing the area, and turning around might be an attempt to imagine the trip back home ahead of time. According to the documents, Makina had been living in the city for nearly a year. It's hard to imagine getting lost would be a big issue at this point. Was she simply one of those ADHD kids or what? If you looked at her behavior as deliberate actions of caution, you could almost see her as a well-trained spy, but Yara knew he was probably deluding himself on that one. There's some part of him trying to make this more interesting than it really was. In reality, Makina didn't project the fierce predatory menace of a trained agent. Anything, she looked more like a nervous little chipmunk, fearful of everything around her. It seems that I think Makina probably is gonna get the jump on this guy. The girl had come to a sudden stop. She seemed to be peering into the LCD screen of a small electronic toy tied to her belt. Unless he was careful, Ihara was going to overtake her. He knew the girl's destination, so it would still be possible to resume surveillance even after passing her. But for now, he wanted to keep observing from behind. Ihara slowed his pace a little, then reached into his inner jacket pocket and pretended to search for his cell phone. "What are you doing? Hurry up and get walking." At this rate, he was going to walk right on by her. It was hard to stay out of his target's field of vision much longer. At this point, maybe abandoning this surveillance outright would be best. It'd be easy enough to take out his phone, check his mail, then abruptly turn around as if called back on some urgent errand. What do I do? Time to call it a day? 5 meters from his target, Ihara decided to make up his mind one way or the other within the next 2 meters. As he continued his slow approach, Makina suddenly looked up from the toy at her waist and broke into a pattering run. Damn it, she's completely unpredictable. What now, run after her? He knew the girl was headed to the bakery, so it probably wasn't strictly necessary, but there wasn't much point in a surveillance mission. He couldn't keep her in sight. This guy's amateur, man. What? What? Oh, okay, it's one of those things where they have a glitch. Okay. Because he could pretend to be worried about the time. Looking down at his watch, Ihara jerked with feigned surprise and started to break into a run. But with his very first step, an unexpected impact brought him to an abrupt halt. Whoops. Laborer. Sorry, a man in a pea green work uniform had suddenly stepped out from a side street directly into Ihara's path. The laborer was wearing a cap with the same color low over his eyes. In his left hand, he was holding a piece of paper that looked like a crude map. Very sorry. Are you okay? The man bowed his head apologetically. He must have been looking at his map as he walked. Judging from his awkward Japanese, he probably wasn't from around here. That's... There you go. Game's back up and we're working on it, and that's huge, you guys. For some reason, there was a timid half-smile on his face. When Ihara followed the man's gaze down, he couldn't help shouting out loud. The breast of his suit was covered in thick gobs of ice cream. When he took another look, Ihara realized the man was holding a half-eaten cone in his other hand. Looked like one of those pat-pong shower numbers from that Baskin Robbins place. I'm not gonna use that stupid name to protect for copyright. Baskin Robbins place the kids were going to these days. Let's say I have no idea what pat-pong shower is. Sorry. Gu binda bayo. So he encrypted words in a remorseful tone of voice. The man started rubbing at Ihara's suit with his bare hands. Paini dari mana ton? This is not good. Gathering this much attention on a tailing job was a huge blunder. While warding off the man persistently trying to clean his suit, Hurley turned his head in search of Makina, but the girl was already gone. At least he hadn't been outright discovered by the subject of his surveillance. Continuing to tail her after this would be very difficult. Probably be best to withdraw for a moment and resume shadowing the girl after she finished at her part-time job. The man visibly flinched at the word illegal. Not only abandoning his inept attempt at brushing off Ihara's clothes, he pulled his cap down even lower over his eyes. Yes! And with this parting remark, the man in the work uniform beat a hasty retreat. Hey, how's it going, man? It goes. I'm starving to death, though. How goes it with you? Whatever the case, things just hadn't worked out today. Tara reached inside his jacket, switched off his IC recorder. The next instant, he let out another reflexive shout. Slim metal recorder that had been in his interior jacket pocket was gone. Tara moved his hand to the opposite pocket. The cell phone he left there was also missing. Disbelieving, he reached to the rear pocket of his pants, discovered even his wallet had vanished. Oh, that pickpocket. Quickly spun around, but the suspicious foreign laborer had completely disappeared. Naoyuki Ihara fought a powerful urge to lie down on the sidewalk and curl up into a ball. Die, Makarov. In a narrow, dim alleyway, 2 streets removed from the station plaza, a laborer was sitting on a stack of beer cases and humming the Lightspeed General Dai Makarov theme song to himself. His attention was focused on a certain wallet for his day's labors. There was 17,000 yen in bills inside. A small purse had another 657 coins. Not a big haul by any means, but nothing to turn up your nose at. Inside the card sleeve, there was an ATM card from a bank, credit card, patient registration ticket from a dentist, and a proof of membership at a video rental shop. Ooh. It's also a driver's license for standard cars with the gold stripe. Other than that, we've got 20 convenience store coupons. Considering he's walking around with them, doesn't look like they get used too often. Methodical, but a little too much pride for his own good. Back of the dentist's ticket revealed that its owner's last visit only a half year ago. The man must have been going for regular checkups to have tartar scraped off or what have you. Definitely the methodical type. Ihara Naoyuki-san, eh? Naturally, the back of the driver's license was unblemished by violations. It's a genuine gold license. The man snapped open a small aluminum Casey swiped along with the wallet, finding the inside full of business cards. IGS kid, huh? I see.
Oi! そこで何をしている?
The man in the work uniform knew that voice all too well. This wasn't the first time he'd been rendered half blind by that overly bright flashlight either. Softly clicking his tongue, he got to his feet.
おいおい、風見さんよ、またあんたか。いい加減にしてくれないか。
Oops. It's not like I did anything this time, you
あ
know?
んた、なんだその格好。ついに学校をクビになって就職でもしたのか？
I'm a working student. This is a uniform for my part-time job.
なんか怪しいな。あんた、こんなとこで何やってたんだい？
Not much. Happened to find a wall over there, so I was looking it over to see if I could return it to the owner.
本当に？あんたが吸ったんじゃないだろうね。
Come on, I'm being a good Samaritan here, you know? Here, this is the wallet.
中身の金は残っているようだな。あんた、少し猫ばばしていたりしないだろうな。
I'm not desperate enough to steal other people's money. I work for my food, as you can see.
そうか。いや、冗談だ。申し訳ない。
More importantly, it seemed like the owner had some business cards in there.
ああ、これか。何々 ?IGS 探偵社、調査員、伊原直之か。
A detective, huh? Guessing from the contents of his wallet. Doesn't seem like that lucrative profession.
中身を見たのか?
Well, yeah, of course. That a crime now?
そういうわけじゃないが。
IGS Detective Company, eh? The Izuka General Security Private Investigative Agency, right? Wasn't that Izuka Satoru guy who runs it a Sakura Damon alum?
詳しいな。
The name's pretty famous, that's all. Oh, but I did hear they dabble in some behind-the-scenes political jobs as well. Any truth to that?
知らんよ。とにかく、この財布は俺が預かっておく。一緒に交番まで来てくれ。
What? Again? Your boss isn't going to be too happy if you drag me back in.
そうは言ってもな。習得者の氏名と連絡先を聞くのが手順だからな。
Why not just say you're the one who found it? Even if you write my name down, Ichikaya is just going to have the paper torn up. You'll only be making trouble for yourself.
しかし。
Okay, here, give me that wallet for a minute.
どうするつもりだ?
I'm going to drop it on the ground, then you're going to pick it up. That way you won't be falsifying your documents.
わかったよ。俺がここで拾ったことにすればいいんだろ?
Why not at least pretend to pick it up?
はいはい。お、こんなところに財布が落ちているじゃないか。これでいいか?
Good job. Oh, while we're at it, take these two.
携帯電話と、なんだこれは?
A voice recorder. Unfortunately, somebody or other seems to have cleared the memory. I was just lying here with the wallet.
おい、本当にあんたが吸ったんじゃないだろうな。
Word of advice, don't ask any more questions. I'm willing to bet your life's going to go a lot smoother that way.
確かにな。あんたのことは黙認しろと上から言われている。けどな、風見さんよ。俺は犯罪を見て見ぬふりをするために警官になったわけじゃないぞ。
And I'm not saying you should. You have my word. I'm not looking to make you complicit in any evil doing on my part.
風見さんよ。あんた、本当に迷惑だな。
Human beings can't live without inconveniencing others.
まあいいさ。俺はここで財布を拾っただけだ。あんたにも会っていない。それでいいんだな。
Thank you. Yes, I am Twitch affiliate now. That works. Speaking from experience, people who know when to keep their mouths shut get ahead in life faster. You'll climb the ladder in no time.
嬉しかねえな。
Okay, I'll be going now.
あんまり仕事増やしてくれるなよ。次は本当に逮捕するぞ。
I'll watch my step. Starving highway robbers in war-torn countries will murder people for a single can of food. Comparatively speaking, a flinch wallet is hardly worth whining about, right? Not that I'm dumb enough to voice the thought. When people are raised in different environments, they'll naturally look at the exact same things in very different ways. But I'm not complaining. Peaceful way of life, not seeing things best left unseen, ignorant of facts best left unknown, needs to be supported from the shadows. And that's the one and only reason anyone would bother keeping trash like me around. IGS Detective Agency. A major private investigation company profitable enough to plaster ads across the billboards in front of Tokyo state train stations. Well known for its founder, the former Sakura Damon big shot Satoru Izuka. Lately, the man's been getting a lot of face time as a security expert on news programs and such, earning plenty of free publicity for his agency. It's a well-known, respectable business. IGS is also well-versed in shady political dealings, thanks to a tendency to offer retiring police lucrative advisory jobs. For a private business, you hear a lot of rumors about their involvement with incidents concerning the establishment. In reality, however, they do seem to know where to draw the line. IGS claims to be a completely independent private company with no tolerance for illegal behavior, and it doesn't seem to be just a pretense. The fact that one of their employees was investigating Makina's behavior means that their enemies are still in the exploratory stage for now. Those people aren't going to harm her even if I leave them alone. The question is how long that harmless observation will continue, and what comes after it. I decided to try and analyze the situation from the ground up. There are 4 basic questions here. Why, who, how, and finally, what do I do about it? Why is Makina being targeted? She was removed from her position as a successor of their family because of health problems, but now her recovery has been confirmed. Simple as that. I like how Sachi's there, going like, huh, he's very much deep in thought and not reacting. Until now, Makina's good health hadn't been public knowledge. That was protecting her. Otherwise, the girl probably would have been targeted the moment she was discharged from the hospital. Next question, who is targeting Makina? Logically speaking, it's the people who be inconvenienced by her return as the future head of the Irisu, or whether it's the branch house or its allies. Learning that Makina had recovered, the main family attempted to murder the branch family's figurehead, her half-sister. In retaliation, the branch family is beginning to maneuver behind the scenes, most likely aiming at removing Makina from the equation. And as for how, that powerful faction inside the Irisu intends to treat Makina from now on. For the moment, they're still gathering information, but once they're satisfied with the investigation, they'll probably move to take more direct action against her. Since she's staying put for the moment, I'm anticipating they'll begin with a harassment campaign to intimidate her, but there's a definite chance that might progress into attempts on her life. In the end, what do I do? The answer is not going to change no matter who I'm up against. That said, there's a possibility of this opponent choosing to come at us with force of arms. We don't have the personnel equipment to resist. In that case, how about seizing the initiative? Better to crush cockroaches before they hatch. Take it one step further, and it's more efficient to kill the mother roach before she can even lay her eggs. Of course, if I try anything along those lines, there won't be any turning back. My employer would no doubt hunt me down, but I'd rather die keeping her safe than live as a slave to the national interest. Whoa, Sakaki, what's wrong? Seems a little too deeply lost in thought. Didn't even notice Sakaki until she was standing right in front of me. Just slapped him. This remark, Sekai abruptly reached out for my face and tightly squeezed my cheeks between her thumbs and forefingers. Ouch! Why are you had? Maybe you stop friendship here then. Yes. I'm a Twitch affiliate now. Sure, what?
鏡を見てごらんなさいな。あなたの目、どろりと濁った中にもギラギラと底光りしていて、まるでけだもののような目をしているわよ。
Men are all beasts, you know.
冗談を言う余裕はあるよね。あなた、さっき小峰さんに声をかけられたこと気がついていた？
I noticed what he did. Sachi was? When?
ほんの数分前のことよ。ここであなたを見かけて何度か声をかけたのだそうだけれど、返事もしないし、追い詰められた獣のような恐ろしい顔をしていたので、それ以上は声をかけることもできなかったそうよ。
I see. Sorry. Got a little lost in thought.
さっきという言葉が適切なのかはわからないけれど、あなたがここでそうしているだけで、寮全体の空気がピリピリするようだわ。そういう顔をあまりうちの子たちに見せないでほしいのだけれど。
Our kids?
うん。うちの学園の子という意味よ。 私の子供のことじゃなくて。
You have children?
ないわよ。
Oh, just a joke. Try my best to smile, but I just can't seem to get it right. Suppose the fact that Sakaki's pinching my cheeks with renewed vigor has something to do with that. That's not the only problem. The girl's right. I'm on edge. Point of unconsciously projecting a menacing aura. In fact, it's pretty damn impressive that Sakaki managed to pinch my cheeks under those circumstances. Look at her with just a little admiration in my eyes. My bad. Exhaling deeply as if to clear out a mass of bad air gone stagnant in my lungs, I let the tension drain from my shoulders and unclench my fists. Sakaki, who had been glaring at me irritably all this time, peers down to my eyes to confirm I have regained lucidity. And briefly nods and releases my smarting cheeks at last.
イリスさん絡みのことで何かあったのね。
Why do you know that?
悪いとは思ったのだけれど、イリスさんのことを少し調べさせてもらったわ。彼女、書類上ではまだ当主の座にいるようね。妹さんはあくまでも代理という立場みたい。
Oh, what does that mean?
つまり正式な辞任がなされていないということなのよ。
Oh, the girl's not interested in inheriting. She made that very plain to her grandfather.
イリス家だって一枚岩ではないし、そう簡単な話ではないことはあなたも知っているでしょ。いくら本人が辞めたいと言っても、はいそうですかというわけにはいかないのね。
Then what can we do?
そうね。ちゃんとした話し合いの席で立会人の同席のもと、正式な辞任手続きを済ませて後任に委ねるのね。そう簡単にはいかないでしょうけれど。
Why not? Sounds pretty straightforward.
宗家を勝ち馬として支えてきた人たち、これまで宗家に融資を受けてきた関連企業や海外提携企業、宗家の代表が主権から外れると不利益を被る人たちが黙ってはいないでしょ。これは私が勝手に計算した結果だけれど、もし現時点でイリス家の主権が分家に移った場合、国内流通、小売、製造、海外輸出入を含むと約 7% の景気後退が発生する見込みになるわね。
Oh, a short-term recession of roughly 7%. 7% across the entire country?
ええ、そう。全世界的に見れば 1.7% の損失よ。
I was thinking about that. Like, a simple announcement caused a 1.7% recession on a global scale.
数年前から続く世界恐慌に拍車がかかるわね。差し詰め、イリスショックといったところかしら。
In other words, Makina saying no would impact the entire world.
そういうこと。どんな理由があろうと逃げ出せない、それが許されない世界というものは存在するのね。
Makina is still a child, Sakaki.
イリスさんは宗家が掲げる旗印なのよ。大人かどうかなんて関係ないわ。
What feudal bullshit. They just want to use the blood in her veins.
かわいそうだけれど、それが彼女の生まれ持った業なのよ。
Is there nothing we can do about that?
だからゆっくりと時間をかけて主権を移譲しつつ、20年ぐらいかけて正式に辞任するか、あとは
There's an alternative?
あと3年間逃げ回るか。
3 years. What happens in 3 years?
イリスさんが健康上の理由で当主の座を妹さんに預けたのが7年前。10年間当主の任に復帰することができなければ、彼女は家督相続権を強制的に剥奪されるのよ。
In other words, if she doesn't return to her old position within the next 3 years.
そう。イリスさんは権利をすべて剥奪されて普通の女の子になるわ。
3 years, huh? For me alone, disappearing for 3 years wouldn't be impossible. If I'm taking Makina along as well, the situation almost certainly wouldn't be so simple. The main house would be using all their power to search for her. And the Branch family too would no doubt try to take the opportunity to secure their position by assassinating Makina while she's on the run and vulnerable.
少なくともイリスさんがこの学園にいる間は安全が保証されてはいるのだけれど、その約束もどこまで守られることやら。
I don't understand. What connection is there between between the Irisu and this school?
関わりというほどのことでもないのだけれど、イリスさんをこの学園に入学させたのは分家筋の人間なのよ。
Members of the branch family put her here? Why?
つまりイリスさんをこの学園で3年間隔離すれば彼女の家督相続権は剥奪されるでしょ。宗家側にはイリスさんが退院したことすら伝えずにそっと入れ物を移してしまったというわけね。
Oh.
事実、宗家側は最近までイリスさんの退院すら知らされていなかったし、彼女がいた病院には分家側が用意した影武者まで仕込んであったというのだから周到な計画だったよね。
My head's starting to hurt, so in other words, as long as she stays in this school under the branch family's control, Makina's safe. Is that what you're telling me?
妹さんが爆発に巻き込まれる前の話ならそういうことになるけれど。
The status quo has already been broken.
その通り。
All bets are off. Uh-oh. No choice but to crush the eggs after all.
またそうやって怖い顔をする。もう一度つねる？
Look, Sakaki,
冷静になりなさい。あなた一人でどうにかできる問題ではないということは理解できたでしょ？
Yeah, I understand. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying.
強情。
It's the one thing in the world I decide to protect of my own will, not because someone ordered me to. Can't very well back down, can I?
少しだけイリスさんが羨ましいと思うのは他人事が過ぎるかしら。
Better not say that in front of her, at least.
何にせよ、今日明日でどうにかなる問題ではないわ。宗家と分家も今はお互いに責任のなすりつけ合いと言いがかりの掛け合いに忙しいようだし、私の調べられる範囲であれば何か変化があったら教えてあげるからしばらく静観してみては？
I suppose so. Just as Sakaki said, there are no immediate changes in Makina's everyday life. She's able to follow her usual routine without incident. On the days when she works at the bakery, I quietly follow her on the way over, and the evenings I wait outside to walk her home. It's starting to become a normal part of my day. When I slip out of the school's front gate a little after Makina, I never fail to spot a certain silver station wagon following her. Presumably more observers from that IGS detective agency. First, I casually glanced in through the side window. I noticed that the man holding the steering wheel wasn't that Naoyuki Ihara guy who screwed up last time. Idiots clumsy enough to get their wallets stolen while following a target presumably get reassigned to pushing paper around, with a small twinge of conscience. Passed quickly though. Don't know who the new guy in charge is, but since he was given the job after the dunce failed, he's most likely a pretty competent investigator. Top of which we've now got 2 men assigned to the case. Sakaki tells me the people employing IGS are indeed connected to the branch family. In short, they're probably trying to determine whether Makina is obediently keeping her head down, looking for any evidence of her coming into contact with the main family. Silver station wagon follows a good distance behind Makina until reaching the shopping district, which when the man sitting in the passenger seat gets out. When the driver takes the vehicle around to park in an hourly lot on the other side of the station, then leans the seat back and lies down. It's what they call a package drop at my workplace. Since they got 2 men on the job now, the observer and his driver seem to have a clear division of labor, makes it easier to deal with sudden or unforeseen developments. Might seem slightly excessive just to keep an eye on Makina, but the bulk of their work actually seems to be investigating the people who enter the bakery where she works. The owner and his wife would already been thoroughly checked, so instead they're photographing every single customer who stops by with a digital camera. Keep it up continuously from 9 in the morning till later than 5 in the evening. When Makina goes out to deliver bread, the man in the car heads over to her destination while his partner continues watching for customers in her absence. Must be ridiculously dull work, but they're very consistent and conscientious. Clearly a private detective's life isn't all thrills. But despite this obsessive investigation, they haven't found any suspicious individuals coming into contact with Makina. There's a reason behind stubbornness that the branch family hasn't called off the surveillance at this point, so I speculate it might have something to do with me. Looking into the people around Makina would naturally mean they pursued a thorough round of inquiries into identities, those related to her in school as well. The principal will be first on the list, but it no doubt included the visiting lecturers and the contractors who maintain the facilities. Sakaki, Amane, Michiru, and Sachi can't have been an exception. Among all these, there's one and only one individual whose investigation would turn up absolutely nothing. Myself, Kazami Yuji. Of course, I do have a profile. Anyone with a bit of knowledge about these things would find it suspicious at a single glance. There aren't any conclusive flaws or contradictions. The papers are clean and beautiful as driven snow. There must be someone over there who didn't like that overly tidy, blatantly prepared personal history. That would seem the most likely explanation for the way they're dragging out this fruitless surveillance of Makina's surroundings. They're probably aware that this investigation isn't getting anywhere, but they're not prepared to back down until they get a read on me. I'm sure IGS isn't too broken up about the state of affairs, since they're no doubt getting paid well for their dull but easy work. On the other hand, the branch family must be getting pretty aggravated by the deadlock. If we can't finish the investigation, why not just remove the need to investigate? I don't know who made that call, but today the routine is finally broken. The early evening, I'm making my way over to the bakery to pick up Makina when I notice a black sedan surging up the road ahead. Classless roaring of an exhaust system drawing louder and louder as it approaches. Not the only reason the car stands out. All the side windows are covered with dark black film, and so low to the ground is probably a cut spring. Zigzagging across the road to avoid a manhole cover, the car screeches to a halt in front of Makina's bakery. Before I can do anything but start in surprise, the window on the passenger side abruptly slides open. You've got to be shitting me. I take a first hurried step forward, scalp burning with a sudden surge of panic. The muzzle of an automatic appears from inside the car. God damn it! I'm too happy-go-lucky. It's not so complicated from the perspective, is it? The way Makina solves the problem in a single step. And of all the cliched, simplistic ways to do it, I didn't even consider the damn possibility. The moment that seems to last a year, all I can do is curse my negligence. As the attackers speed past, I turn to memorize the numbers and make of their car. There's a sticker on the rear window with the words Team Blood Cherry under a crude sketch of a skull holding a cherry bomb in its teeth. Biker gang? It's also possible that they're pros in a stolen vehicle, pretending to be gangsters as a cover. But that's not what matters right now. Papa! Makina, you're alright. Any injuries? Calm down. It was just some idiots from a biker gang screwing around. More importantly, you weren't injured? In any case, let's get back inside for the moment. A drive-by shooting is a lot like a bombing, by which I mean the safest place you can be is one that's been hit already. There aren't many idiots who will plug another bullet right where they fired the first one. I enter the bakery mocking the owner is cradling a telephone against his shoulder, desperate to explain that the shots were fired through his window. From the tone of his voice, it's clear he's talking to the police. The nearest neighborhood station is right outside, Mishima Cape Station, not even 200 meters away as the crow flies. They should be here in minutes. Please don't let it be that guy again. At times like these, my bad premonitions are depressingly accurate. Last thing I want to deal with right now is my good friend Officer Sourface and his usual barrage of sarcasm and suspicion. Time to get moving. Under the circumstances, I was expecting a little resistance and Makina tried to leave as usual. When the girl asks, "Can I go home now?" her employer just nods and says goodnight. Now that the terror has faded, the man seems to have worked up a good bit of outrage over the damage to his shop. He's too busy shouting at the policeman on the other end under the line to worry about anything else. Speaking of shoot, someone else did. Alright, let's go home. Despite her dopey personality, Makina's got sharp instincts. She should have figured out by now that the bullets fired into the shop weren't a random prank. A gloomy expression settled onto her face. Fall into step next to the girl, then wrap an arm around her shoulder and pull her close in a casually protective gesture. 4 bullets were fired in the direction of the shop. First hit their signboard, second and third penetrated the glass in the front show windows, ultimately lodging in the rear walls of the bakery. Fourth hit a plastic bucket in the alleyway outside. Most likely they weren't firing at any particular target. The point of the shooting was to intimidate and threaten the people inside. In other words, it was simple harassment. A warning to the effect of, "We could kill you at any time if we need you dead." Of course, the intent of the attackers doesn't change the fact that potentially deadly bullets were fired at her store. It's no consolation in the slightest. It is a simple but effective threat convinced Makina to quit her job at the bakery. It minimized her contact with the outside world and reduced the time wasted on fruitless investigations. For the branch family, it was probably a minor risk well worth taking. Are you alright? Makina's been trudging along silently at my side for some time. Looking down at the pavement below, she hasn't said a word since we left the bakery.
嫌だな。私と一緒にいる人はいつも迷惑するのよさ。
Oh man. As if there's a single person in the world who isn't causing trouble for someone.
でも鉄砲で撃たれるような迷惑をかける子なんて私ぐらいなのよさ。
Aw. Was it driving that car with her sister? Not that I'm going to remind her.
やっぱり私家に戻った方がいいのかな。その方が誰にも迷惑かけないのかな。
Maybe so, but you don't want to go back, do you? Then you don't have to.
でも
Not to worry. I'll make sure this sort of thing doesn't happen again.
どうするの？何をする気なのパパ。やめてよ。危ないことはしないで。お願いだよ。
It's nothing particularly dangerous. I'm just going to get the police to give their full attention.
警察に？
It's an organization that exists to keep law-abiding citizens safe and secure. Only normal to rely on them at times like these, right? Nothing to worry about. Leave it to me. To be honest, my employer has a tendency not to view relying on the police favorably. I don't personally enjoy begging them for favors myself. An organization exists and is powerful enough once it gets moving. Not making use of them would be foolish. Once we made our way back to the dorm, I entrusted a clearly depressed Makina to Komi and Sachi. I also considered the option of leaving this to Amane, but I decided our class representative would be the better choice this time. My reasoning concerns what you might call Sachi's peculiar virtues. Specifically, a certain quickness on the uptake, characteristic of an experienced maid, and the modesty to refrain from asking too many questions. When I abruptly show up and ask her to look after Makina, the girl doesn't request even the briefest of explanations.
はい、お任せください。
Instead, she nods her assent without even a moment's hesitation. Things wouldn't have gone nearly this smoothly with Amane. When it comes to Makina, the woman's something of a worrywart. She wouldn't be able to help barraging us with questions. Although I'm sure Amane eventually understands the matters best left alone, it bothered her so much that she ended up getting gloomy too. That might leave Makina feeling even worse than before. I have to explain what happened to Amane and the others in due time. But for the moment, leaving it to Sachi is probably the optimal choice.
マキちゃん、私のお部屋に来る？ミルクココアを入れようか。
Yo, chocolate milk's delicious.
ありがとう、サチ。
Sachi turns around with a flutter of her long skirt, gently rests a supportive hand on Makina's back, and heads for her room. For just an instant, the class representative looks back over her shoulder, face expressionless as ever, and fixes her clear eyes on mine. I like to hear the circumstances later. She doesn't make a sound, but I hear the words clearly enough. I nod briefly, then make my way up the stairs and head toward a certain room. Sakaki, it's me. Me, your grandson. I'm in trouble. Please transfer 1 million yen to the following bank account. Sorry to interrupt, but please open the door. This is urgent. It's a brief moment of what seems like hesitation on her part, but soon the lock clacks open. I'm bleeding from my crotch and it just won't stop. Got any extra sanitary napkins? Hey, I was just kidding. Come back. Got the box cutter and everything. Sorry, this is serious, alright? Please hear me out. Let me borrow your computer.
Huh?
There's something I need to look into. I'd like to be alone in the room if that's possible. Kind of a long story. Point taken. Okay, I'll give you the executive summary. Someone took a few potshots at the bakery where Makina works. Fortunately, no one was injured. It was most likely harassment from the branch family to make her quit her job. That's a theory, but I can't say for sure who was responsible yet. That's why I wanted to borrow your PC to investigate. She can be scary. Yeah. Appreciate it. I'll let you know when I'm done. So go kill some time reading the porn magazines under my bed or something.
冗談よね。
Why don't you take a look and see?
まあいいわ。本当にあったら全部捨てるわよ。
Feel free. Gives Sakagi a little wave as she stalks out of the room. Wonder what sort of expression she'd make if I changed her PC wallpaper to a picture of my groin. Unfortunately, there's no time for such absurd pranks at the moment. Wow. The worst dick pic in the world. I switch on the notebook computer sitting on her desk, then hunt around in my breast pocket for JB's business card as the machine boots up. Underneath the simple but professional logo consisting of letters A and C overlapping, the words Asahi Clean LLC, Second Public Relations Division, and Haruda Yuria, Section Chief, are printed in embossed type. A smaller font below, there's an email address and a URL for the company's webpage. As the computer loads its desktop, I immediately open a web browser and type in the address. Just as you expect, a typical corporate front page of the Asahi Clean Company appears. Normally, I'd only be using this through our company's secure internal telecommunications network. No, we don't give her a groin shot. We just show her the groin, man. No dick pics, just dicks. Probably, anyway, I don't know. Even using a normal public connection, it's possible to gain access to our database through an emergency ID and login. However, the company is not quite so happy-go-lucky as to hand out such lovely authorization to a mere part-timer like myself. I click on a small user ID field in the upper right of the page, enter Julia 000393, then move my cursor to the password field. At this point, I pause to stroke my chin thoughtfully. Well then. Closing my eyes, I recall JB's body in all its vulgar glory. I've been out of touch for quite some time. I don't think these numbers will have changed that easily. 172-9656-9055. Okay. Tapping the figures as I recall them, then click the login button. I'm instantly bounced back with a brusque incorrect user ID or password error. Huh? Shit, no good? Did she put on some weight? Mistyping the password 3 times will trigger an automatic warning to the company. I've only got 2 more shots at this. 172-9658-9257. How's that? When I click the login button for the second time, the hard disk begins grinding away intensely as a new page automatically opens. Virus protection software scan the computer. Bingo, she better watch that ice cream habit. For a minute or so, the browser window changes to a dry functional terminal screen, empty except for a number of label tabs at the top. I select vehicle lookup and a new frame pops up immediately. JB, yeah. It's JB. Quickly enter the car's manufacturer, model, color, and license plate number into the appropriate fields and run the search. Result, no corresponding vehicle found. I've been more or less expecting something of this sort would happen. It's not particularly discouraging. This time I try to search using only the license plate number. Again, the database gives me nothing. Seems they weren't using a license plate borrowed from another vehicle, but instead a counterfeit with a random mishmash of a number. In which case the only remaining hint would be the sticker in the rear window, I suppose. When they're searching under other might turn up something. As I'm pondering the next step, my cell phone begins to ring shrilly inside my pocket in my uniform. The caller should probably go without saying at this point. Hey there, JB.
ちょっとユージ、あなた今外からうちの広域通信網にアクセスしてるでしょ。
There was a little something I wanted to look into.
私の ID を勝手に使わないでっていつも言っているでしょ。
So don't get too caught up on the little things, okay? Not to worry, I won't let anyone know you've gained weight lately or our little secret.
そういうことを言ってるんじゃないでしょ。
Oh, sure about that?
だからって別に太ったことを言いふらしていいってわけじゃないわよ。っていうか太ってません。あれはその時々パスワードを変える必要があって仕方なく数字を大きくしてみただけで。
What are you making excuses to here?
それで何を調べようとしていたの？
This is like this route is very involved, like with everyone else. It's interesting. A motorcycle club named Blood Cherry, skull with a bomb in its mouth as the logo, probably affiliated with local organized
そ
crime.
んなことわざわざ不正アクセスしなくても私に聞けばすぐ済むことでしょ。
Well, probably so, but it's not directly connected to my work for the company, so I was trying to show a little restraint.
遠慮。
I was trying to lower restraint, so it says I had to log in from outside the company's network and trigger a bunch of red flags that made you call me directly. Whatever. What's with the tone of exhausted disbelief? You won't find many men more tactful than me.
はいはい。錯乱に暴力の暴でチェリーね。わかったわよ。私が調べておいてあげるわ。
Appreciate it.
いつまでに調べておけばいいの？
Sooner the better. Right now, if possible.
今すぐ？
Yes, that's what I said.
あのね。
Look, JB, I tried to do it myself because I didn't want to make you sigh like that.
まったく、今すぐ調べればいいんでしょ？今すぐ。
Can you handle that?
何のための中央調査部だと思っているのよ。できるに決まってるでしょ。
Sorry about this. You have my undying gratitude.
あなたいっつもそうやって感謝するって言うけど、本当に感謝してるの？
I'm always grateful to you, JB. After all, now that Asuko's gone, you're the only family I have left.
12分後に結果をメールするわ。
Thanks, Julia. It's not a lie, I really am grateful to her. When Asuko died and I nearly lost sight of the reason I was alive, somehow or other, Julia gave me the courage I need to get back on my feet. Precisely 12 minutes later, an email arrives in my inbox from a certain punctual German. Kanagawa prefers a certain place.
ほら、立てよ、てめえ。勘弁してくださいよ、マジで。俺ちゃんとやったじゃないですか。
Oh, snap.
お、口答えとかしちゃう元気、まだあんのかよ。んじゃまだボコっても死なねえよな、ほら。すいません、マジ無理っす。勘弁してください。
I don't know what's happening.
たく、どうしますか、阿藤さん。
ああ？
なんかもう勘弁してくれとか言っちゃってんですけど、どうします？もう殺しちゃってもいいっすかね。
そりゃおめえ殺しちゃまずいだろ。人殺しちゃおめえいくねえよ。学校で先生にそう教わんなかったのかよ。
俺自慢じゃねえっすけど、学校とかまともに行ってねえから初耳ってやつですよ。
ああ、まあいいわ。ちょっとそいつこっち連れてこい。
ほら、てめえいつまで寝てんだよ。起きろよボケ。
あ、いいですよ。そんな無茶引っ張んなくても自分で立ちますから。
お前誰だっけ？名前だよ、なんつった？あ、たかしくん？
ただしっすよ、石川ただし。
ああ、ほいじゃったね、ただしくん。なんだお前、あれだ。おめえよ。ダメじゃんかよ。ちゃんと俺の言う通りに仕事してくんなきゃよ。
What?
だからちゃんと言われた通りにパン屋に鉛玉ぶち込んだじゃないですか。何がダメなんすか。
だからよ、おめえちゃんと俺の話聞いてたか？俺はパクった車でやれってそう言ったよな。おい奥田、俺ちゃんと言ったよな。
へい、ちゃんと言いました。
だろ？焦った。言い忘れたかと思ったじゃねえか、この野郎。ざけんなてめえ。
おす
なあ、俺はちゃんとパクった車でやれって言ってんのに、なんだよおめえそれ無視しててめえの愛車でかっこよく乗りつけちゃったの？なに、俺の車超イケてんから見て見てって感じで目立とうとしちゃった感じ？ああ、
そんなんじゃねえっすよ。ただ車パクんのも面倒だったし、俺の車どうせナンバー偽物だしバレねえかなってちょっと思っただけで。
Little did they know.
ダメじゃんかよ。なあ、おめえさ、そういうとこ全然ダメな。おめえの間抜けな自己判断だよ。足がついたらどうすんの？あ、 おめえ一人がパクられんなら俺だって何も言やしねえ。でもよ、おめえがパクられてなんだほら真鶴
Deducting? As in deduct?
芋づるす
Deducing? Okay.
そうそれだよ。おめえ芋づる式ってやつで俺らまであげられたらそりゃシャレになんねんじゃねえのって話じゃねえのかい。
Well, I think it's too late. I think if we're all seeing this scene, Yuji's gonna be here soon.
すいません、勘弁してください。
ダメだなほんと。まったく暴走族なんかやってるやつはアホばっかりだよ。簡単なお使いすら満足にできやしねえ。おめダメ、生きてる価値ねえよ。つか殺すのも面倒だよお前。分かってんの？
すいません、マジで次はもう失敗しませんから。
バーカ、次なんかねえんだよ。てめえみてえな使えないやつに杯やるわけねえだろ。
Very stylized.
そんな約束違うじゃないですか。
おう、先に約束破ってくれちゃったのそっちじゃねえのかよ。てめえ調子こいてんな。
勘弁してくださいよ。この前もそんなこと言って結局杯くんなかったじゃないですか。
テレビだバカ。杯が欲しけりゃもうちょっと真面目に働いてちった役に立てよ。おめえ犬だって餌やりゃおめえよりいい仕事すんぞ。ああ。
Just has the image of like a dog driving like a stolen car.
ウィスじゃねえよバカ。てめえ真面目にやる気あんのかよ。
次は大丈夫っす。マジで俺気合バリ入れて真面目に頑張るっすから。
んだよったく。おめえ次失敗したらマジ死なすからよ。覚えとけよ。
えっす。
おああダメだ。俺思い出しちまったよ。お前あれだ、他にも失敗してんじゃんかよ。なあ。
なんすか他にも失敗って。
おめえあれだ、昨日の夜俺が渡した茶菓バーで女に見せびらかしてたろ。ありゃマジよおめえ。
あれはその。
Sounds like Tadashi's dead, man.
なあ、俺言ったよな。誰にも言っちゃダメだぜってよ。それがおめえときたら何よ。茶菓手にした途端何飲み屋で女に自慢とかしちゃってんのよ。バカじゃねえの。つうかマジでダメじゃんお前。奥田、こいつ殺していいよ。
勘弁してくださいよ。
何やってんだ奥田。はよこいつ殺さんね。奥田。
Looks like Okuda's not coming by. Looks like he had to run in with some foreign laborer.
奥田てめえ何寝てんだよ。起きろくれ。おいただし、てめえふざけんな。誰だ。誰かいんのか。隠れてねえで出てこいやくれ。
Shuhokai, deputy underboss. Susumu Ato-san, right?
あ、誰じゃお前。どこにいる。出てこんかい。
What are you looking at? I'm right behind you. As Ato spins around violently, the back of my hand meets the tip of his jaw. Amplified by his own momentum, the blow jerks his head a good 90 degrees to the side. Quivering from the impact, Ato's eyes roll back in his head. He's unconscious before his knees hit the ground. Normally this would be the point where you start kicking kidneys or crushing windpipes, just to be on the safe side. But instead, I roll the 3 unconscious men over, tie their hands between their backs with a high-string nylon rope, then do the same to their ankles. As the finishing touch, I tie their bound ankles and wrists together, leaving them curled helplessly backwards like 3 particularly puffy and unattractive seals. Honestly, first a detective agency, now organized crime. Friends of the Branch family are just full of lovely surprises. Batman. Sorry about the surprise attack. Couldn't go picking a fair fight with Yakuza, you know? I'd get kicked out of the house if I lost. Well, I suppose you wouldn't know. You people do take your pride pretty seriously. As I speak, I'm busily rolling up Otto's tacky lavender suit jacket. As suspected, he's got a pull-through snap leather holster strapped on his left side with a shining silver automatic visible inside. What's this? Taurus? Damn, even the deputy underbosses are packing some pretty nice toys these days. Grab the weapon by the grip and give it a solid yank. Snap flies open with a metallic click, and the gun slides free smoothly and easily. 9mm Brazilian pistol has been polished to a blinding sheen for some ridiculous reason. Combined with the pearl white grip he seems to have swapped in for aesthetic reasons, the thing almost looks like a toy at first glance. Look, Otto-san. The jacket was bad enough, but this is a bit much, don't you think? Silver polish and a pearl grip, there's bad taste and then there's just posturing. I always thought villains only packed a flashy custom Taurus in the movies, but it seems my belief system needs revisiting. Not fucking around, my friend. Sorry, but you're going to be moving to a nice villa for a while.
No.
Hit the mag catch button with my thumb and remove the magazine. Pull back on the slide and peer into the chamber. It's empty. The hell's the point of having a fast draw holster if you need to take the time to chamber around before you can shoot? All show, huh? Well, whatever. Pushing the disassembly button with my forefinger, I rotate the lever downward, then advance and remove the slide assembly. For compressing the recoil spring and guide, I carefully pull the barrel free. I'm not shooting! You can't tell by looking. There's no reason to waste my breath trying to explain. So I methodically arrange the disassembled components of the gun on the ground, grab one of Otto's hands and begin applying his fingerprints to them. Still don't get it? I'm getting your prints all over this gun. Most thugs clean their fingerprints off their pistols these days. There's plenty of morons who forget to wipe the insides of the weapon as well. Having our friend Otto-san here become one such idiot. Naturally, I'm wearing thin rubber surgical gloves for every step of this procedure, so as to keep my own finger oils to myself. You really want to know? Don't think I feel like telling, though. A bit of a tease that way. Extract the 9mm bullets in the magazine one by one and carefully press them against the tips of Otto's fingers. After I'm finishing applying his prints to the internals of the weapon, snap the gaudy Taurus back together the way it was, and wrap it carefully in a towel. Okay then, I'll be on my way now. True. That may be a little much. Alright then. What was the name of that useless biker kid over there again? Ishikawa Tadashi-kun? I'll untie his ropes, so just have him help you out once he wakes up. Cut the nylon ropes, blinding Ishikawa Tadashi with a pair of scissors I brought a 100 yen shop before coming here, then toss him carelessly away. The sound of Otto bellowing desperately at his comatose underling echoing pleasantly in my ears, take my leave. Wow. Where's Makina? She's at home sleeping. Well then, I went out on my way to nab a tacky pistol from a Shokai underboss. Just toss it in the window of a police station, but if Officer Bumblefuck proceeds to drop it in the lost and found, my efforts will have been wasted. So what do I do then? The solution is elegantly straightforward. Simple as this. Step 1, squeeze off a few shots at the police station. Step 2, toss the gun in some random bush nearby. Step 3, haul ass out of there. Nice and easy. 4 police force is proof of a peaceful city. Nothing to be ashamed of. That said, without the occasional bit of excitement, anyone will get complacent, slow on their feet. Little cold sweat's only healthy every once in a while. Doing good deeds really does make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I think I'll be able to sleep soundly tonight. Yeah, that's the fucking ninja. It's been 3 days since the shooting at the bakery. Makina hasn't taken a step outside the school grounds after the incident, spending even more time inside the dorm than she used to. That said, she's not just moping around gloomily. I think Makina is hungry.
ですが、みちる様、カニさんは一応生き物でいらっしゃいますし、食材として見ても赤いウインナーよりは数段上かと。
Poor hot dog, neglected.
そういう問題じゃないよね。あ、違った。こいつカニじゃなくてカニ風味かまぼこだ。騙された。安くなった上に生き物から遠のいた。
そうはおっしゃいますが、カニ風味かまぼこも元をたどればスケトウダラですし、みちる様の守護霊はスケトウダラであると言えないことも。
It's kind of inferring what type of fish it is.
どっちにしろ頼りないのは変わらないわよね。まあまあ、まだ生ものなだけいいのよさ。ユミちゃんの守護霊なんて炭酸電池なのよ。
Double A battery?
いいじゃないのよ、炭酸。一番使い勝手がいいじゃない。
その評価もどうかとは思いますが。
What? Makina is at least acting like her normal cheerful self. According to Amina's testimony, when the girl's alone, she often drops her head and stares at the floor, silently brooding. Cause is obvious enough. Anyone would be depressed after an ugly incident like that. For that reason, I have an obligation to get off my ass and take action.
あれ、ユージ、あんたどっか行くの?
Yeah, I got a job in the city today.
Papa.
Don't worry, I'll be back by evening. Makina looks at me with anxiety in her eyes, thump a hand onto her head, then vigorously ruffle her frizzy hair around. Sachi, look after her for me.
はい、お預かりいたします。どうかご安心を。風見さんもお気をつけていってらっしゃいませ。
Yeah, I'll be back in no time.
パパ、本当に一人で大丈夫?
Just trust me.
何なの? あんた戦場にでも行くの?
I'm going to meet Makina's mother.
マキナの? え、何しに?
I'm going to ask her to leave Makina to me.
え? それってプロポーズ? お嬢さんを私にください的なやつ?
No, not even close, but surprisingly hard to find the exact difference.
何? 本当に? あんたたち結婚すんの?
Like I just said, got it all wrong. Anyway, I'll be on my way now.
いってらっしゃいませ。
Just asking to take care of her, as in like my daughter. Gosh. Since things have come this far, I have no choice but to talk directly to a figure of authority in the Irisu and appeal for a stop to this coercive campaign against Makina. Normally, that would mean directly meeting Makina's grandfather, the previous head of the clan, Irisu Haruchika. The man sits at the top of a very high peak. It's hard to imagine I'd be able to secure even a chance to negotiate. What's more, precisely because he's so far above the clouds, apparently there's a good chance Haruchika doesn't know much of anything about the recent shooting incident. Seems strange that an acting head executive wouldn't know what's going on in his own organization. On that point, Sakaki provided me with a fairly convincing explanation last night.
例えばそう あなたが指の先に怪我をしたとしましょう。怪我をすればあなたは当然痛いと感じる。怪我をしたことには気がつくはず。でもその傷口に侵入した雑菌と白血球が戦っていることをあなたは意識できないでしょ。
True enough. Even if you're aware that the process is taking place in an academic sense, there's no way to grasp the exact details of that microscopic battle, unless you watch cells at work. What?
イリスケも同じことよ。イリスケを人の体に例えるなら、今回のことは指先に刺さったトゲに等しいわ。頭脳であるハルチカ氏は痛みでトゲの存在に気がついたとしても白血球の活動までは認知していない。組織ってそういうものよ。
That's usually how giant organizations operate, yep. I see. Even so, I can't just let things stay this way. Fortunately enough, we're human beings, not cells. We should at least be able to negotiate.
だったらまずはイリスさんのお母様、イリス清香さんに会うことね。
What? Makina's mother, is it?
イリス家の総裁がハルチカ氏だとは言っても、事実上のイリス家を仕切っているのは祖母である初音さんと母親である清香さんなのは有名な話ね。イリス家は女系の家なのよ。
Ah, now that you mention it. Makina had said something like talking to Grandpa won't do any good. I just assumed that she meant Haruchika-san couldn't comply with her requests because of his responsibilities to the organization he leads, but maybe she meant that the man's a figurehead, lacking the authority and influence to help even if he wanted to.
ハルチカ氏にとっての最善が組織にとっての最善とは限らない。そんな時、最高意志の決定としての発言力を持つのは祖母の初音さん、そして母親の清香さんということになるわ。話し合いをしたいのなら、まずは日本国内の事業を仕切っている清香さんを相手に選ぶことね。とは言っても、そう簡単に会える方でもないと思うけれど。
It was a valid point, but as I'm always telling Makina, there's no chance of getting anywhere if you don't try. When backing down isn't an option, there's no reason not to test every option you have, even when you know the odds are long. Borrowing Makina's cell, I called her mother. The woman didn't pick up the phone. After making several attempts at regular intervals, I finally left a succinct message on her voicemail. I need to talk to you about Irisu Makina. And this morning I received a return call directly from Irisu Kyoka herself. The woman was calling her daughter's cell phone, but a strange man answered. She made no attempt to hide her understandable mistrust. But after I explained that I was acting as Makina's representative, I seemed to earn at least provisional recognition, successfully convincing her to make time for a face-to-face conversation. In order to meet Makina's mother at 1500 hours this afternoon, take the train alone from Mishima Cape Station into the city. My appointment at the headquarters of the clan core organization, Irisu Global. Although I said the city, the building apparently stands discreetly a good distance from Tokyo's core. Not fond of trains, but for Makina's sake, I need to try and settle this as quickly as humanly possible. They're somehow toughing out 48 miserable minutes on 3 different trains. Spend half an hour walking the 10-minute taxi ride from the station to the Irisu Global building. And still managed to arrive 15 minutes ahead of time. Oh, this is gonna be good. Considering the scale of the Irisu enterprises, the headquarters is a surprisingly compact 12-story building, not any different in size from a branch office in my company. From Sakaki's stories, I imagined a towering monument to corporate power and wealth, but this leaves a very different impression. Well, better than getting intimidated by the building right off the bat, I guess. I've been a little concerned about being overwhelmed by some massive skyscrapers, so this is a pleasant surprise. You always start off at a psychological minus when negotiating the opponent's stronghold, so even a small plus like this is something to be grateful for. Drawing the necktie on my school uniform tightly around my neck, I make my way quietly through the automatic door in the front of the building, then confirm my appointment at the front desk. The receptionist, a worthy match for Kominasachi in the utterly expressionless department, guides me to a bank of elevators, where a woman in a cleverly expensive dark red suit is patiently holding a door open.
清香様の秘書を務めさせていただいております。沢田でございます。どうぞこちらへ。
Never even opening her eyes, Miss Sawada offers a perfectly 10-degree bow. Returning a small nod of greeting, I enter the red carpeted elevator as instructed. Sinking to my ankles in the long-haired carpet, I join my hands behind my back in the at-ease position. Miss Sawada moves quietly inside, turning her back to me and presses the 12 button for the top floor. On second glance, the panel only has 4 buttons for the lobby and On second glance, the panel only has buttons for the lobby and the 12th floor. Looks like this is a private elevator to the president's office in the penthouse. When we arrive a few seconds later, Miss Sawada simply murmurs "this way" quietly before setting off down the hallway. As they follow, I can't help confirming the positions of the windows and emergency exits, as per my usual habit. Gazing outside the windows, I'm less concerned with the pleasant view than potential sniping points. This has got to be an occupational disease at this point, sort of like a patch of rust inside my mind that won't scrape off. The corridor the secretary leads me down only has one actual door. Inside, there's a modest room about 13 square meters in size, dominated by a desk that's built into the floor. A nameplate reading Sawada Hiroka stands on the surface. Presumably, this is my guide's personal office. At the very back of the room, there's a more imposing door made of thick, expensive-looking wood. Sawada raps on it lightly with her knuckles, calling, "Kazami Yuji-sama has arrived, ma'am," to the person inside. And the answer she receives in return is spoken in a far more youthful voice than I expected. Sawada opens the door and guides me inside. The moment I cross the threshold, I squeeze both hands into fists at my side, click my heels together and stand at attention. Kazami Yuji, reporting in. As Irisu Kyoka watches me bow from behind her desk, her eyes open wide for just a moment. Then that startled expression strongly resembles Makina's. Not that I really suspected otherwise. It's more than enough to convince me this woman is her mother. Oh man, she does look like a slightly older Makina. As she offers me gentle, bland words of greeting, Irisu Kyoka's eyes glance not to my face, but to my feet. Your master once told me, women who look at your feet first need to be handled with caution. It's a sign of a person who judges a man's worth based on the shoes they're wearing. Their attitude changes dramatically based on that evaluation. I'm wearing black loafers of the sort designated by the Miyahama Academy dress code. Not high-quality products by any means, but thanks to the habits I picked up in my workplace, they're so well-polished you can see your face in them. No, please don't take the trouble. Yeah, she really does look like her, right? Miss Sawada bows as rigidly as a mechanical doll, quietly leaves the room. As we wait for the tea, Irisu Kyoka observes me carefully, the bright smile never leaving her face. For a long moment of silence, she abruptly opens her mouth. Well, yes. In-house, ma'am?
このビルを建てたのはうちの設計会社と建設会社なのはもちろんのこと、あなたがここまで来るのに目にしたものすべてがうちの商品なのです。
Oh.
ロビーに置かれた観葉植物や自動販売機の飲み物もそうですし、この部屋に来るために乗ったエレベーターもイリスの商品なら。極端な話、この会社で働いている人間もイリスの人間ばかりですから、ほぼすべてがイリス製と言っても過言ではありません。
Is that so? Are these words intended as some kind of boast? Perhaps a reminder that I don't have a single ally in this place? An implicit threat? Irisu Kyoka, expression of studied innocence on her face, begins to answer questions I haven't asked.
この日本の多くの人がそうと知らずにイリスの手のひらの上で生活しています。例えばそう、あなたが今朝食べたこんにゃくゼリーもうちの商品です。
I don't believe I had any, actually.
あら残念。最近の若い子の間でブームなのですよ。
She's like, what? You don't eat cognac jelly?
朝こんにゃくで元気をチャージっていうテレビ CM ご覧になったことはないかしら。ほら、男性アイドルの井口あすまが渋谷の駅前を歩きながらゼリーを飲んでる CM。
Unfortunately, I'm afraid not.
そう。じゃあせっかくですからお土産に一箱持って帰りなさいな。今電話をして用意させます。
I'm appreciative of your thoughtfulness, but I came here today as a representative of Irisu Makina, not a tourist.
代理人ね。失礼ですけれど、
あなたはマキナとはどのようなご関係で？
We're classmates.
クラスメート。ただのクラスメートが個人の家庭の事情にここまで介入するのかしら？
You'd be surprised. There's this girl named Sakaki Miko, and she basically is the reason why I'm here. I've received more than adequate compensation for my involvement.
報酬？ああ、そういえばあの子の口座から少しまとまった金額が引き落とされそうになったと聞き及んでますけど、そういうことですの？
It is indeed.
あら、そう。まあまあ、随分と大きな買い物をしたかと思えば、そう、あなたを買ったのですね。
She's like, she didn't do too bad.
人様の子をお金で買うなんて、なんて子なのかしら。まったく。
I'm the abnormal one for allowing myself to be purchased. Please don't blame your daughter.
あら、忠実。あの子、いい買い物をしたわね。
Right. Your daughter calls me daddy? Kasura, I don't think that'd be the right approach at this moment. I think that would not go over well on many ways and reasons.
お茶をお持ちいたしました。
お入りなさい。
失礼いたします。
The Sawada carries in 2 cool glass teacups, a wooden tray with an artful assortment of small cakes. Bending her knees carefully to the ground, she personally arranges them on the low table in front of us.
どうぞ、お召し上がりになって。
Very kind of you. I bring the teacup to my mouth, watching out of the corner of my eye as Sawada bows silently and slips out of the room. Tea has a rich, pleasant aroma, and a single sip spreads clean, simple sweetness throughout the mouth. I'm able to appreciate its excellent flavor like this, probably not dangerously nervous at the moment. Turning my teacup to the table, I abruptly broach the main topic. In regards to Yurisa Makina, it seems she no longer has the slightest intention of returning.
いきなりそのお話ですか。
It is the reason I came here after all.
それで、私にどうしろとおっしゃるのかしら。
Makina has no interest in returning to the Yurisu clan in any capacity. Therefore, I would ask you to bring the various forms of harassment being employed against her to a complete halt.
嫌がらせとおっしゃいますと？
Were you not aware that the bakery where she's currently employed had 4 live bullets fired at its shop front?
お話だけは伺っております。が、あれは私の指示ではありませんよ。一部の過激な文化集の仕業ではないかと噂されてはいますが、詳細はまだ調査中とのことです。
You know what would be the big kick to the face? If the person who's actually enacting all these attacks against Makina, is like her grandfather and grandmother trying to scare her back into becoming head of the family. And like Kyoka here is actually just an innocent bystander who has a lot of clout and control, but ultimately is the one that's out of the loop. Although Makina basically said that her mother just outright doesn't like her either, so it's not like this woman here is guilt-free. But I see it'll be interesting if this is more convoluted than we thought. I mean, it pretty much is, because we have to meet Makina's mother in the first place, but whatever. Of course, I didn't come here with the assumption that you were responsible. However, you are capable of issuing an order to refrain from further extreme actions. This is an appeal for your assistance.
なんだか思っていたよりもつまらないお話ね。一つお聞きしてもよろしい？
I'll answer anything I can.
そのあなたが言うパン屋さんに銃弾が撃ち込まれた事件の実行犯とおぼしき人物が何者かの手によって拘束されていたところを警察に確保されたと報告がありましたが、もしかしてあれはあなたの仕業なのかしら？
How interesting. Can't say that I recall anything of the sort.
本当に？
Don't you think it's a bit far-fetched to suggest a mere student like myself could possibly have taken such an outrageous course of action?
確かに普通の学生には無理でしょう。では、あなたは普通の学生なのですか？
You can see it for yourself, ma'am. I'm a thoroughly unremarkable dime a dozen student.
では、そんなつまらない人間に マキナは7000万円も払ったとおっしゃるの？
Damn, she's good. You'll excuse my saying so. That's less to do with my capabilities and more to do with your daughter's exceptionally eccentric personality.
なら、そういうことにしておきましょう。でもあなた。
Your Sakioka leans closer to the leather sofa where I'm seated. Gives the air a gentle but audible sniff.
とびきり凶暴な犬の匂いがしますわよ。
Damn, she's fucking smart. Do I really smell? I did bathe before my visit for what it's worth.
骨の髄まで染みついた匂いがお風呂に入ったぐらいで消えるもんですか。
She is surprisingly astute. And it doesn't help that he's in her stronghold, right?
まあいいでしょう。あなたの陳情は確かに聞きました。マキナに対して過激な行動を取らぬよう徹底させましょう。
I'm grateful for your understanding. Could I have your seal on this settlement agreement?
あらびっくり。そんなものまで用意していたのですか？
Respectfully, a private verbal promise to a student doesn't amount to much.
わかりました。判を押しましょう。ですが、これはあくまでも私との話し合いで結ばれた示談とお考えくださいね。
What do you mean by that?
つまり、私自身はマキナに対して危害を加えるような命令や指示を出すことはありませんし、他の者にもそれを徹底はします。ですが、全員が全員、私の指示に従うことは保証の限りではありません。という意味です。
But that makes your agreement all but meaningless.
もちろん、私の指示に反して行動した者には、しかるべき責任を負わせますが、そう簡単な話ではないことは、あなたも理解しているのではありませんか？
Yeah, like what if the grandfather or the grandmother is taking actions, right? One for the branch family, one for the main family.
そもそも先に拳を振り上げたのは宗家のマキナ派の人間です。分家の代表たるサリナを車ごと爆破されたのですよ。私が報復するなと言ったところで聞き入れる分家衆が何人いることやら。
Came here today in the hope you would find a way to make them listen.
こうも状況がこじれてしまえば、それも無理な相談ではなくて。
I don't know. You're pretty capable. We're talking about your own child here, ma'am.
ええ、確かに。マキナにしてもサリナにしても、どちらも私がお腹を痛めて産んだ子です。ですから、どちらが家督を継いでも、私は一向に構わないのですよ。
That's not the problem here.
一番簡単で確実にマキナの身を守ろうと思うのなら、マキナの身柄を本家に預けるのが一番です。内側に入ってしまえば、さすがに分家衆も迂闊に手出しはできません。
But the problem is that's not what Makina wants to do. But that's...
いくらマキナが嫌だと言ったところで、それが最善であることに変わりはありません。あなたからも、あの子を説得していただけませんか？
Kyoko's is like, you know, whatever. Kyoko's like, it's not like I'm gonna lose any power. That's not possible.
だったら、私が直接あの子に話します。とはいえ、私が直接電話しても、きっとあの子は出ないでしょうし、あなたが電話してくださらない？
I can contact her. Unless Makina herself wants to talk to you, I won't be able to hand over the phone.
それでも構いません。
Very well. Take out my cell phone from my breast pocket and dial Makina's number.
どうしたの？もう話し合いは終わった？
No, we're still in the middle of our conversation, but your mother says she wants to speak with you. Speaks to you. Would that be all right? You can just come up with some excuse if you don't want to talk. It's completely up to you.
わかった。話してみる。
She's gonna try it because Yuji's trying. Oh. You going to be all right?
電話でなら多分。
Understood. I'm going to give the phone to your mother now. Makina seems to be willing to talk.
あらそう。
Yusukioka gingerly accepts the cell phone from my outstretched hand, then brings it to her ear.
もしもし、マキナね。私です。ん？だから私ですって。何？よく聞こえません。もっと大きな声で。はい。ですから、イリス・キヨカ、あなたのお母さんです。母親を詐欺と間違える子がありますか？まったく。
Probably not wanting me to overhear the phone call, Yusukioka stands from her seat with my cell phone, then walks out briskly to the far window. What sort of conversation can you possibly have with the mother you haven't even seen in 6 years? More importantly, was allowing them to talk directly really a wise decision on my part? Just as my impatience begins to develop into something like regret, Yusukioka returns with my cell phone, having concluded our discussion much more quickly than I expected.
どうもありがとう。こちらお返しいたしますわ。
Perhaps something of a clean freak, she holds out my cell phone pinched delicately between the tips of her fingers, as if handing something deeply unsanitary. Taking it carefully, I tried to study her expression, but the face of Makina's mother, a woman who's lived her life moving in the shadows of Irisu Zaibatsu, reveals absolutely nothing.
結論は出ましたから、もうお引き取りいただいて結構ですよ。ご苦労様でした。
A conclusion? What kind of?
当人同士の話し合いで出た結論です。 あなたにそこまで説明する必要はありません。
I'm afraid I can't be satisfied with that.
まだお分かりになっていただけないのかしら。あなたはマキナの代理人としてやってきておきながら、結局は当人に対話を委ねたのですよ。つまり、すでに代理人としての権利を放棄したのです。ご理解いただけますか？そもそも代理人とはおっしゃいますが、 それはマキナが勝手に起こした人間です。私が認めないと言えば、あなたには何の権利もないのですよ。
Yeah, she's good. Certainly true.
よろしい。小野が微力をしっかりわきまえたのなら、1階でこんにゃくゼリーをもらって学園にお帰りなさいな。
Not only am I supposed to go home without accomplishing anything whatsoever, expect me to carry back a box of souvenirs like a complete idiot?
あらあら、その程度の認識を持ち合わせていらっしゃるのね。帰り道の途中で気づいて、もらったゼリーを投げ捨てるぐらいの若さを体験してほしかったのに。
Probably done at the moment he stepped out. I see, quite the arrogant personality. This woman seems to have divided human beings into two clearly defined categories. She looks down on those who can't profit her in some way as garbage. Words won't get you anywhere with this type. After heaving a sigh, a single quiet sigh rises from the sofa. Thank you for your time. I will return at a later date. This announcement and a brief bow, I leave Yusukioka's office behind. Downstairs, I politely refuse an offer of a car to the station, and actually turn down the jelly souvenir as well. In the end, I leave with nothing but a painful reminder. Despite my somewhat unusual set of skills and experiences, still nothing but a powerless student. On the walk back to the station, my legs feel far heavier than usual. Thought, why did I even come here, weighs me down like a backpack full of lead. Someone said a conclusion had been reached, but it's not clear what results that strangely brief conversation will ultimately produce. Is it really alright to just let things take their course like this? Fighting off anxiety, the scent of something vaguely fishy tickling the back of my nostrils, and make my way back to the dorm where Makina waits. God damn it, Yuji! Damn it, I knew there was a fishy smell in the air. Wait, what? I see. Makina greets me the moment I'm in the door, even more cheerfully than usual. When I tried to ask her about her negotiations with her mother, she answers it's okay now without shedding any light whatsoever on what's okay or how. Since she clearly isn't eager to recount the conversation, I can't bring myself to pursue the line of questioning too vigorously. In any case, Makina's expression is so genuinely bright, I can't help feeling slightly relieved, assuming that the discussion must have ended on a fairly promising note. Putting a hand on Makina's head as she smiles innocently, ruffle her hair around violently like always. Striking scent floats up and fills my nose. This mixture of fruity shampoo and oddly sweet-smelling sweat is Makina's distinctive scent. Like any other woman's, it leaves a youthful, almost childish impression. 3-5. Oh, we've been going for 3.5 hours. Yes, we have been. I just realized that. It's a deeply pleasant moment, almost like I've slipped my chilled body into a nice hot bath. Soon enough, a murmuring electronic rumble brings it to an end. Is that my phone? Tap my private cell phone to find the name Suo Amane displayed on the caller ID screen. Amane, weird. Why would she bother to call? Wonder if she forgot her wallet or something. This is Kasumi. When shopping without your purse or something? What? Calm down, what's burning? What about the bakery? What are they burning? What? It's a bakery by the station. She said it's on fire. Hey, Makina, wait. Amane, are you in a safe place right now? Then stay where you are until the fire department gets there. Keep your distance and don't try anything stupid. Makina went running out, so I'm going to follow her. She's almost certainly heading over there. I'll take care of it. Hanging up now. Fire at the bakery? Bullets through the window just the other day, and now it's burning? There isn't a damn chance that's a coincidence. I rush out of the dorm in pursuit of Makina. My mind is already fixed on the worst possible hypothesis. This has to be arson. The night sky is dyed with a pale orange light. The air filled with the foul stink of a large-scale fire. Station streets are already crowded with onlookers, surrounding the bakery where the blaze began from a cautious distance. Makina! She reflexively tried to run into the bakery only to be restrained by a nearby bystander. One arm in the grip of a neighborhood housewife, Makina stands in the street, not screaming, not shouting, but staring at the burning building in blank shock, her breath caught in her throat, still as a statue. Makina, are you alright? Powerful agitation that drove her from the dorm, losing its external outlet, seems to have flowed down her back and turned her legs to jelly. Makina's knees tremble so violently it seems she might collapse at any moment. Makina. She mumbles the words in tones of blank disbelief, with a heavy lump of uneasiness settling in the pit of my belly like a stone. Stomach squeezes in on itself painfully. Bathed in the transfixing orange light, people are desperately moving back and forth in front of the burning building, casting vivid shadows across the ground as they relay water toward the flames. Among them are many familiar faces, mostly men from the shopping district, and Amane and her long hair thoroughly disheveled, swinging buckets down the line. Amane! Noticing me as he stepped forward to join the relay, I was eyes by Makina at my side. She rushed over instantly. What the hell happened? Arson. Fight down the urge to curse and frustration. One damn thing after the other with these people. In any case, we need to fight the fire. Is there anyone left inside? When it points to Makina's employer sitting flat on the ground with pure incomprehension on his face. His wife crouches behind him, her face buried in the small of his back, sobbing frantically. Amane, look after Makina. Turning my back on Amane's dazed, soot-stained face, I run to join the relay line. The fire department arrives. We have to focus on keeping the flames from spreading. See many people weeping under many different circumstances, but this is the first time it's felt this painful to watch. After all this time, she finally worked up the courage to try and leave the curse of the Irisu family behind. Of her own free will, she took a small but deeply meaningful first step forward. A simple part-time position at a neighborhood bakery. She learned the job through steady effort. Makina told me about her dream of opening a store of her own someday. True. It might have been a little more than the simplistic fantasy of a child, even knowing that it might never be realized. She had a goal. She had a vision of her own bakery, of buying a home where we could live together. This job was her first small precious step toward that objective, and now it's gone just like that, smashed to pieces by irrational violence. The shop's windows lie shattered by the heat of the fire. As tendrils of flame lick persistently at the walls, the handmade signboard slowly burns down. The same sign that was hit in the drive-by shooting the other day. A handsome piece of wood has already begun to carbonize. I can still make out the bullet hole. A tongue of flame spouts through it, silently chiding. We warned you, didn't we? The arsonists must have been members of the Urisu's grand family. Even if their superiors admonished them to leave Makina alone, it's clearly not an order they're willing to accept. A faction within the branch house covered up the girl's existence for years, hoping to deceive the main family. And when the facts came to light, they reaped what they sowed. The preemptive attack nearly killed their candidate for head of the Urisu's Aibatsu. I can sympathize with the rage it must have caused the branch family when their figurehead was wounded. Makina's hardly the person they should be taking it out on, let alone her employer. She shows a childish spasm of violence. As I stare up at the burning store, I feel a strange heat spreading across my face. It has less to do with the temperature of the air than the emotions boiling up inside me. Eventually, the local fire department arrives on the scene. In the blink of an eye, the flames are extinguished. Fortunately, the only damage is to the property. The bakery on the first floor has been destroyed, but there are no injuries. As the owner sinks to his knees and moans in agonized disbelief, I can't find any words of comfort. To carry Makina to the dorm, Amina tries her best to comfort the girl. She just buries her face in my back and doesn't respond. Ever since she was a child, she's had to deal with those deranged by power or money aiming for her life. The girl might even be somewhat used to it by now. Even so, the guilt of having dragged completely unrelated people into this seems about ready to crush her flat. At such times, the kinder the people around you act, the more you'll close yourself off from them. More than anything else, out of the fear that you'll end up bringing them misfortune too. Makina doesn't grow any more talkative after our return. That one sentence, she disappears by herself. Try not to kill people, guys, because if you get caught, that's it. You're in jail, and then Makina's left alone. Deal with this.
でも誰も怪我しなかったんでしょ？みんな無事だったんでしょ？だったらそれを喜べばいいじゃない。なんであんなこの世の終わりみたいな顔してんのよ。別にあの子のせいで店が火事になったわけじゃないでしょうに。
それはそうなんだけど。
Oh, it's a little bit more complicated than that. I haven't explained any of the details to Amane. Judging from the way her sentence trails off awkwardly, she seems to have her suspicions.
イリスさんに責任はないけれど、無関係とは言い切れないし、苦しいところね。
Meanwhile, here's Sakaki, who also has a bunch of answers.
何よ、ユミコ。あんた何か知ってるのね。
知っているだけよ。知っていても何もしてあげられないこのもどかしさ。何も知らないあなたが羨ましいぐらいだわ。
Oh man, it must suck because here are like people like Yuji and Sakaki who are trying to support Makina from the sidelines or directly in Yuji's case, and they can't get it done.
どういう意味よそれ?
Don't fight, okay? If you absolutely have to know, I'll tell you. But if you end up regretting you asked, it'll be pretty damn hard to forget. You sure you want to know?
何よそれ? 聞くと呪われる都市伝説的な話.
Unfortunately, this is non-fiction.
それは聞いてしまえばマキちゃんを見る目が変わってしまうようなそんな類のお話なのでしょうか?
Pretty much.
だったら私は聞きたくありません。 私は今のマキちゃんが大好きですから。
You're a good girl, Sachi.
何よ、それじゃあまるで私が悪い子みたいじゃないのよ。私だって別にマキナの秘密を知ってどうこうしようってわけじゃないのよ。ただこのままじゃ私あの子にどんな態度で接すればいいのかちょっとわかんないっていうか、つまりどうすりゃいいのよ。はっきり言ってくんないとわかんないのよ。私バカだから。
By the way, Castrola, also the assumption of eliminating Kyoko, solving the problem. Remember, this is how the Branch family is acting with just Serena being injured. Think of how crazy they'll go if like one of their biggest supporters, Makina's mother, is injured or worse, killed. They'd probably try to break into the school and kill Makina, everyone here, or something like crazy. Don't worry about it too much. Just interact with her the same as always. Clumsily try to comfort her or something. Makina would probably just get even more depressed. Nobody wants to get pitied by an idiot. Just said it yourself, woman. What?
私もさ、あんまり腹芸が得意な方じゃないし、考えてることが顔や言葉に出るタイプだから知らない方がいいとは思うんだけど、それでも一つだけ確認しておきたいことがあるんだけど、聞いてもいい？
Go ahead.
もしかしてあの子実家に帰っちゃうの？
That's hard to say. Sorry, but only Makina knows. What makes you think so in the first place?
去年の夏休みだったかな。私があの子に実家には帰らないのって聞いたら、あの子こう答えたのよ。
私は実家には帰れない女なのよ。
なんで？
帰ったら多分もう二度とここには戻ってこれないと思うの。
なんでさ。う
まく説明できないのよさ。そりゃね、実家に帰るのが一番だってのは分かっているのよ。でも実家に帰ったらきっとこの学園のみんなとはもう二度と会えなくなるのよ。あまねえもゆみちゃんもチルチルもチズチズだってみんなもう会えなくなっちゃう。それだけは絶対嫌なのよさ。
Oh shoot, that's not good. Literally, Miyahama Academy is her most important place then.
そっか、なんかよくわかんないけど、そんじゃ帰らなきゃいいんじゃない？
でもいつかは帰らなきゃいけない日が来ると思う。だけどその日が来るまでは自分からは帰りたくない。
お、帰るな。そんじゃさ、今年は私の実家に帰ろうか。一緒に京都に行こ
う。And thus, Makina went to Kyoto.
なんか今日のマキナを見てるとあの日のマキナを思い出すのよね。あの子がああいう顔をする時って決まって実家の話の時だから気になっちゃって。
I see.
あまねさん、榊さん、みちる様、それに学園長さんまで名前が挙がっているというのに、サッチンの名前が挙がらないのはなぜなのでしょうか。
いや、去年の夏休みはあんた まだこの学園にいなかったでしょうが。
So I wasn't even just so why did she not mention me? You weren't here.
そうでした。幸うっかりです。
あんたさ、なんか時々すごいバカよね。
やめてください。みちる様に言われると本気で落ち込みます。
Wrecked.
どういう意味かな。
とにかく今私たちが彼女にしてあげられることは限られているわ。
私たちに何かできることってあるの？
そうね。いつも通りでいてあげることぐらいかしら。
Yeah, I think she should appreciate that more than anything else right now.
私たちにはそれぐらいしかできないけれど、風見くん、あなたにはあなたにしかできないことがあるのではなくて。
Something only I can do, eh?
スオさん、イリスさんは今どこに？
なんか一人になりたいって言って部屋を出て行っちゃったけど、多分自分の部屋に行ったんじゃないかな。
そうだそうよ、風見くん。
Come on, go. You're the dad. Do it. Are you telling me to come for her?
得意でしょ？
Not sure where you got an idea like that. Alright. Why does it feel like this is going forever? Oh my goodness. Like, why is it getting worse and worse? Man. Like, oh yeah, bad things, the bad thing hasn't happened yet. The bad thing hasn't. The bad things are happening! I don't know how much worse it's gonna get. But jeez Louise. This is depressing. Man, I feel so bad for Makina, because it's just tough what's happening to her, the things she's going through. Oh my goodness. But we are almost at the 4-hour mark. I'm going to call it. It's been a long night. Oh, it's been a rough night, especially if your name is Makina. So with that said, we have met the face of our enemy. It's going to be forever? Oh no. So Makina rode secretly the infinity route out of nowhere. But yeah, no, we've met the face of one of our main enemies in this route, which is Kyoka Irisu, Makina's mother. And clearly things are happening. You know. So we'll see where it goes from here. Hopefully we're getting closer to the end though, because can't have too much of this depressing shit. Although we will get the bad end anyway, along with the good. But anyway, for now, this is animefanrk2k. Thank you very much for watching tonight's Monday Night Livestream. See you next week for another one. And, you know, or in whatever else I do here on YouTube or Twitch. For now, see you, good night, and hopefully your local bakeries don't burn down anytime soon. Peace!